What's good, everybody? It's your gearhead, Mr. Logic. And as you know, you're in for a good treat. Make sure if it's your first time, you hit that like and subscribe button. And by the way, we like to shout out our sponsor for the day, which is Flavor Fresh Meals. Now, this young individual is a Miami native, Colombian descent. He does meal preps and catering, and he basically adjusts to your diet, whether it's keto, paleo.
Well, you name it, he got it.
You name it, he got it. Right now, he done came through with some what we call chicken lasagna. And guys, how was it?
It was
really good. I was
amazing.
disappointed at the fact that I ate before this. You should have texted me.
It was a surprise.
No.
Surprise.
Jason.
Surprise. I was.
When it comes to food, don't.
I know. I have to, though. Because if I tell you, you're not surprised.
If you tell me, I'll be mentally prepared not to eat. So that way when I do eat, I'll eat the whole thing because it was delicious.
I'll make sure I know that next time. Lewis, how was it?
Well, somebody stole my plate, so I had a little piece, but it was good.
And I guess for the day, Adrian, how was it?
Look, oh man, that was really good. I'm not gonna lie.
That was fire.
That was delicious. That was yeah, go hit him up. Go get you some food. Get you some chicken lasagna.
Val's on the one and O's. Val, how was it?
It was delicious.
It was delicious. So just to give you guys a heads up, you can find him on Instagram at Flavor Fresh Meals. Okay. He basically changes his menu about every 2 weeks. Check him out. Number is 305-504-2927. He does deliver. And best believe,
He's gonna
if you want to get into
flavor.
your fitness and lifestyle, you already know which way to go, yo. Affordable, great tasting, and healthy. Shit.
Yeah.
That shit's on point like a decimal.
Mhm.
With that being said, allow me to introduce my lovely co-host.
Hey guys, it's your girl Nate. How are you?
Hello, I'm Lewis.
It's not an AA meeting.
My name is Adrian.
Good vibes, good vibes.
And we also have our guest. Hold on, we gotta give you the drum roll, Doug. Drum roll. The one, the only, the infamous Wondrian!
What's up, guys? Thank you. I love
That was kind of dope drum roll.
That was good.
I don't know. I felt like I was kind of being corny, like the old WrestleMania type voice.
that was how I wanted to be introduced.
Okay. Tell them about yourself a little bit, cuz.
I'm a director. I'm an editor, and that's actually all I do. I just do all I do.
Name some of the people you worked with, cuz.
Mooski, Hot Boy, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
Right.
No. He's
an
that
NDA
ass
behind this, so I could just say that, and that's it.
Okay. And as you guys know, man, this is one thing for sure, two things for certain.
Baby, let's get it.
Now, as we follow tradition, we're gonna start off with ladies first. Nate, how was your week?
My fault.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay.
I don't know. Sometimes I hate when you ask me that question because it's like,
You be on
what did I
autopilot.
do this week that I didn't do last week?
Try to
you
take
know?
over the world. Pinky in the brain. Narf. Please tell me y'all at least remember that.
Yeah.
You guys don't know who Pinky in the Brain is?
It sounds very familiar.
Pinky in the brain. What are we gonna do today? Try to take over the world. Narf.
Oh.
I feel older and older. Every
Oh,
year.
I know exactly who they are.
You can't cheat, bro. Y'all using Google, bro.
I'm not using Google.
How else are we supposed to know?
She dry snitched you out. Okay.
Of course we
Point
Googled that.
is-
I would have Googled it.
Oh God.
I need visual representation to find shit in my memory bank. Because if not, I won't remember.
Yeah, it was a refresher. That's what it was.
Refreshers are sold at Pollo Tropical, sir. Okay.
And Starbucks.
Then catch me over there.
Yes, indeed. Starbucks. So you didn't do anything this week? It wasn't stressful? How was work? Did you want to punch somebody in the face?
I always do, but you know what? It's another day, another dollar. So
Ooh, I like that.
If it
I
don't
like
make
that.
dollars, it don't make sense.
Ooh, damn, we dropping bars. You next, homie. What's the next bar?
Keely Kurgan noise.
Those are the best ones. What else do you say after that?
You know
I mean,
what
those
I'm
are the
saying?
ones that you wake
Same
up
shit,
saying you're
different
motivated.
you know
toilet,
that kid
dog.
covered in
Same
peanut
shit.
butter?
Shit, different toilet. I like
Same
that.
shit,
Yeah.
different toilet,
You know
dog.
that kid covered in peanut butter when he does the sound? Hey.
Oh yeah, the baby. What about you, Luz? How was your week so far, dog?
Man, I just started this job. I'm excited to get started,
Woo!
but it's just training
Congrats.
videos for now. So it's killing me with the boredom, but I'm just trying to fly through them training videos so I can get started as soon as possible.
Okay,
That's
I
pretty
see
much how
that.
my week is going so far.
So when you
And
gonna
I'm
take me
excited.
out for a date?
Well, shit, baby, whenever you want.
I knew you were gonna say. You see, it only works when it
Motherfucker,
goes
you
one
asked
way.
for it.
Yeah, but it's a one way thing. If I'm acting sus, you can't act sus because then it makes it look real sus. So
Nah,
no,
you're not gonna do that.
Nah,
I don't
see,
do
that's
that,
why
bro.
I'm playing around with you, man.
The mistake you
I
made
don't
was
wanna-
assuming that he would do that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to play no
Nice try, buddy.
No.
Better luck next year.
more. Ain't gonna be no next year. What about you, my G? How was your week, man? I know you be doing some crazy wild shit.
Yeah, it was good. So I got a car, right? Finally, after like 3 years.
Hold on. You been
Oh,
living
yeah,
in
that's
Dade
right.
County without a whip,
Bro,
boy. You been fucking with some fat chicks.
no, I've been.
I'm
What the
just
hell does
saying.
that have to do with anything?
Because every time I see a dude without a whip, he got to get a fat chick to get pulled around with. Yo, that's literally how it goes.
What?
Tell me I'm lying.
How does that make sense?
Because, yo, when a dude is down bad on his luck, ain't nobody fall in love quicker than the dude who ain't got a crib, a dude who ain't got a whip.
That is true, though.
I'm just, and you know what?
Oh, no, I guess.
That is true.
No discrimination.
No,
I like
that's
big
true.
girls.
Oh, they're good. You know.
They-
But no, I just been giving all my money to Uber. I've been making their CEO rich as hell. Like, I mean, what?
What?
Like a weekly paycheck that a person gets, I just give it to Uber just to get around.
Do you at least
Yeah.
get hooked up? Do
That
they
shit
take
is
you to the
expensive.
grocery store? Like, yo, dog, I'll slide you a 20, dog. I just need to wait like 20 minutes so I could get this shit.
One picked me up and then she asked me to pump her gas,
What?
and I did because I had to get home. So I was like, I'm gonna say no.
Whoa, hold up. You know
Hold
what?
up.
I'm old school, but nah,
Yo,
yo,
yo, yo, yo.
nah,
You're
you
my Uber
wild.
driver. Why you
You
even
want me to
asking me,
pump
bro?
your gas? Listen,
She was smooth with it. So like,
nah, she looked bad, didn't
no.
she?
She
Her
was
car?
no. She was like,
She ran game
she
on
was
you.
old, but man, she left. I mean, she like introduced it real smooth. So she couldn't find me for a while, which
Mhm.
I was like, all right. She finally gets me. So she like tired me out mentally because like she kept going back and forth on the app, and I was like, just get here. So she started breaking me down, wear and tear, right? And then she gets into her car. You know, what I mean, I get into her car, we take off, and 2 blocks down, she spots a gas station, and she just subtly goes, "Do you mind if I put some gas?" And I was like,
Do
"Oh,
your
of course
thing.
not. Of course, have fun, right?" And then we pull into the gas station, get to the pump, and she goes, "Would you mind pumping it for me?" I was like,
Bro, what?
I
it was
mean,
just like
you know what?
Wow.
In her defense, you said she's an older lady. It's just that's absurd.
What would have been your reaction if she was more your age?
Yeah.
No.
For real?
Straight
But I
up,
mean,
though,
look,
like-
the thing is, she put $5 of gas, and that was it. Like it wasn't like an emergency for like she just wanted to put gas. I like
She
make me
wanted
put
to
gas.
see she just wanted to see the full display. She's like, let me get a second look.
What if she had Riz?
Hate to see her go, but I let her watch her leave. You know, I walked away. She was probably like, damn, can't wait to get him back.
Yeah.
Oh, she took a picture with me. She's just like flaunting it to her friends.
Wait, what?
What?
She was definitely.
Hold on, no, there's more
Where
to
is
this
this
story.
going?
It was interesting. No, I said then I got out of the car. That was cool. You know, stranger danger.
Shit, bro.
Stranger danger.
What if
Now
like
then-
something more happened by looking at his
It
face?
was, but it was like it was more
It
wholesome.
was. You can't
But
say
it was wholesome. It was wholesome. She said I reminded her of her son that she
Oh
had.
my
a
She was
God.
using that
Oh.
against you, bro. She was using that against you.
You know, and then she started like getting comfortable. She goes, "Oh, can I be like in a good way?" You know, and she like opened up, and then she said,
she
"Oh, do
opened
you
up.
mind giving me a hug?" And then when like I hugged her, she was like, she started crying. She goes, "It felt like my son was like hugging me again." And I was
Did he
just like,
die?
"No, she just hasn't seen him in like 2-3 years. He lives pretty far. Like,
Oh
they
my
can't get together."
God.
And
That's a little- okay, that's kinda
Ladies and
sweet.
gentlemen,
Wow.
this is where I say be kind.
it was-
Because even though I'm clowning, make myself look like an ass, things like that is the
Yeah.
moments that really make you think and be like, you know what? It's nice to fill in the gap and make people feel wholesome.
Look,
Yeah.
Sarb in the chat goes, bro is the
Those are-
trophy.
But
And
hold
I
on.
said the
Are
Rizzler.
are you
Yeah.
fucking with me though?
No.
You mean
like
it?
right before I got out the car, like I figured I might as well like leave her with something. And I looked at her and I like straight out of a movie, right? I looked at her and this happened for real. I was like, maybe you running into me today is because she started talking about like destiny and fate and stuff. And I was like, well, maybe you running in today is like life telling you that you're gonna see your son soon and gonna be reunited. And she goes like, she just dropped her jaw, and then I just got out the car and I was like, have a good night. So you know,
That's
at least
the way
I
to
feel like
do
I
it.
did
That's the
something
way to
good
do
for
it.
that.
Damn.
That's like some
Wow.
Batman shit.
So-
You know what?
That's cool.
This open a new chapter is gonna be called Dade County Night Stories, yo. Because they're like real shit be happening here that we're just like, word?
Yeah.
That happened here?
Yeah,
Really? I mean, I'll be real with you. I used to Uber when I got out the hospital from my accident. I had to Uber to make money, and everything was going good. I had 3 bad experiences. I had one dude I picked up from Blackbird Ordinary. This dude was drunk, white boy from Wisconsin. He's like, oh, we're going to 11. I could,
11?
bro, this is like on a Wednesday night. Okay.
No way.
Who does that? And you know they're
Psychopaths.
bro, it got so bad. His homeboy with Shorty looked like they're about to die. And this dude's like, wait, before you pull up, play this song. And
Bro,
I don't even
what
remember.
song was it?
I don't even remember.
Damn, Jason.
Like, I don't listen to this. Like, I don't listen
Was it country music?
No, it was on some shit that mumble rap. But what made it so cringe, he's like, no, wait. And I have a system, so he blazes it up, and we pull up to 11. He's like, yeah.
Oh my
And then literally he gets out of the
Charge
car.
some extra, bro.
Nah, I ain't going for. I turned off the music. As soon as he got out of the car, I was like, drove off. The second one, bro.
Dude, I'm sorry. That's wild.
This is at the wharf. I'm picking up 2 shorties from the wharf, and I already, they call you when they can't find you to, mind you, I got lights on my car. I'm easy to spot, like easy. So she's like, I don't see you. People are beeping at this chick because she's drunk as fuck with her homegirl in the middle of the road. And she's like, shut the fuck up. Like, oh God, please don't be for me. Please don't be for me. She's like, I see you. And I'm just like, oh God. So they get to the car. And these chicks is on something like the blonde chick. She's wearing like some dominatrix leather pants, looking like she came out of the Matrix. The other one's wearing a sundress. It can't get any worse, right? I'm just gonna take them to the crib and that's it, bro. Women, not all, but these women particularly are evil. Start talking their business while I'm driving. It's like, I can hear you. So she talks about the ex. And she's like, and the dominatrix was like, yeah, fuck that nigga. What you should do, you should find somebody like an Uber driver and fuck him till he makes you bleed. And I'm like, ew,
bro.
Like, this is gross.
What?
I would have been like,
I'm sorry.
I'm canceling it, right?
The way she said it, fuck him till he makes you bleed. Like, she said it with such anger and aggression. I was like, this is a man. There's no way. So then we pull up. The friend in the sundress is like, oh, it's okay. She's like, no. Drive up, like the other one's on a power trip. Mind you, eating a donut the whole time. I was already mad. You're eating in my fucking car, okay? She had got the, what do you call those? Mojo donuts? Mojo donuts?
Yeah.
So she's eating that shit in the car. And
Mojo Dojo?
Mojo Dojo.
Wait, was it a powdered donut?
I don't care. I can hear the crumbs hit my seat. And I'm just like, oh, this bitch.
Bro, cleaning fee.
Bro.
$250.
Dog, I pull up. The friend says it's good. And then I was like, no, it's further. They start arguing with each other in the back. So I stopped the car and the friend's like, thank you. The domination one's like, fuck this shit and slams my door.
Oh,
and
fuck
yo,
no.
I'm holding the wheel like, this bitch.
You're giving you an aneurysm.
You ate my car and you slammed my door.
Oh my
and
God.
you gave her advice for a man to fuck her till she bleeds.
Specifically an Uber driver.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you reaching at, bro? That's the second. I stopped Ubering after my third pickup. I picked up some dude at Coyo Taco in Brickell. I bring him. He lives somewhere in Flagler. You know how the house is like on the street and whatnot? So I drop him off. Cool conversation, typical type shit. As I drop him off, Buddy starts running after me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I stopped the car. He's like, yo, my bad. Yo, I left my shit in your back seat. Yo, this dude left a fat sack of yay in the back of my seat. After
I'm
that,
afraid to ask what that is.
Coke. So real talk. At that moment, I was like, I'm done. Because there's no way in God's green earth that if I would have had gotten stopped, what am I going to say? It's not mine. It was my passenger. Like, how do you get in another man's car?
Sorry, officer, my dog did my homework.
Like that.
That's what that sounds like.
You feel me? Like, I already have a boot on my foot. I have a cast on my arm. I'm all fucked up.
And you're driving like this?
Yeah, my mama wasn't too. Listen, when you need when you need to make money,
Jesus Christ,
I don't care. I read my stitches open the first week. I don't care.
There's a way.
There's exactly. Listen,
you are
let me
so
tell you
annoying.
something.
You hear that, Uber?
If you have something to do, your only limitation is yourself. Nobody could tell you what you can and can't do. If you think you can, if you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah, you guys, follow Jason's advice. Who cares if you have stitches? Who cares if you rip them open and start bleeding and you have to go to the hospital again because you need to get help again? Who cares?
They didn't put stitches. They put staples.
Whatever.
If I'm bleeding out, I'm getting McDonald's.
Right, you feel me? You get a shot, yo. We have a good time about it.
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die happy. But a happy meal.
Back to topic, yo. My week was straight, yo. I actually gotta say, I feel really good. You know what I'm saying, yo? Mad love for the support, yo. We heard the message, yo. Thank you for the support on the last episode.
Thank you,
That shit was
guys.
fire, yo. Make sure you let us know, yo. We got to put that Discord out there on the page. You know, Nate was being mean to me afterwards, but
I was?
no.
I probably was.
The fact. Jesus Christ. So, with that being said, Joe, we got some topics for y'all today, and I'm going to let Nate take it over and break it in so we could talk about it.
Okay, so
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, you guys. So the first topic we're going to talk about is why aren't people held accountable after a breakup?
Ooh. Okay, I'm joking, but if I may.
Student
So,
Jason?
I chose this topic simply because, as you guys know, not everything that has a start will have a finish. Some things have a start and do have a finish, depending on how much discipline the relationship has. I think we all could agree to that. However, what I have noticed is the lack of accountability after a breakup. And the reason why I bring that up, not going to say no names, but a lot of times I hear, well, I'm going to change my life around because when I was with that person, they made me so toxic. And it's really unfortunate because nobody got a gun to your head. Be truthful. It takes two to tangle. You know what I'm saying? It's not a one-way street. So where's the accountability after a breakup? Why are you so quick to shun the other person? Especially if you've been with that person for a while. Because realistically, if you're talking to a chick, right? Getting to know her and she shuns her ex, at least to me, I think most reasonable people are going to look at you sideways. Well, you've been with that person for so long. If they were this horrible, why the fuck did you stay with them for so long? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't add up.
Also, what do you guys think about like people who are still friends with their exes?
That's okay.
Okay, I mean,
Whoa. It depends,
bro. Yeah,
it
really
depends
does
how
depend.
deep it was going. So, wait, okay. Are you friends with any of your exes?
No.
Okay. Lewis, are you friends with any of your exes? Yes.
I would like to be
Why?
with
Why?
one
Why?
because I
honest.
have a lot of love for that person,
Okay.
and I would have loved to see them as a friend, but it
Okay.
just didn't work out like that. So.
I'm sorry,
But-
but
but
if
why?
I was your girl, you have me mad fucked up with that answer.
What?
I'm
Why?
just being truthful with you.
Why? You don't think like exes can be friends?
If my boyfriend went up to me and said, "Yeah, I'm still actively friends with my exes because I have mad love for her, and I just
Okay,
want to
well,
see."
that's different. Okay, look,
I'd be
that's
like,
not, but that's not,
but
what,
I'm
that's
single.
not what she hears.
No, I'm gonna be very fucking mad. I'd be like, you know what? Who are you to be friends with your
No,
ex?
like,
Like,
what she's
okay,
hearing
first of
is
all.
she's like, yeah, I'm still cool with the person I was inside of. And
Exactly.
like, even though that I may not be a feeling, I know this person still wants my nuts and I hang with them. You cool with that?
Yeah.
That's what she hears. Women are territorial just like us. Are you
Bro.
friends with any of your exes?
No. But here's the thing. I attempted it, right? So
You attempted it.
it's like my first longest
Yeah,
relationship.
same.
Like after the breakup, like it wasn't a horrible thing. Like, we didn't hate each other. It was just kind of like an understanding that we're not gonna like
right.
It's not gonna work
it's not
out.
gonna work out in the long
Okay.
run anymore. So, we kind of kept talking, but like as friends, an occasional checkup, like, hey, how are you? Like throughout randomly. But eventually that just it won't last, I'm not even gonna. It just doesn't. You can't sustain something like that because at one point, like, yeah, you've been fucking that person, and then at one point, you've taken all these, like, you've made all these memories and connections that is deeper than just a friendship, and then you're like, oh, hey man, what's up? Like, you're trying to, it's not gonna work. No.
Yeah, realistically speaking, it probably won't work, but
It could work.
No.
it could work.
If
It
they
could
live in a
definitely
different
work.
state.
Yeah, and then they get into a relationship, and then you're gonna feel some type of way because you're like, oh, but we were friends, but those feelings were always there for you.
Oh,
So
I think, listen, can you be friends? Am I friends with any of my exes?
Look, if I was seeing a girl, yeah, I probably wouldn't be friends with her anymore.
No, I'm really trying to think. Am I friends with
Like, I would
any
have
of my
respect for the
exes?
person I'm with, for sure. Because I know I wouldn't like them being friends with their ex either.
I'm telling you right now, don't ever, like, if your future girl asks you that question, lie to her.
Oh shit!
I've never had an ex.
If this
Well,
ever the answer you just said right now, pretend like you never said
Well,
it.
truthfully speaking, I'm not friends with any of my exes, unfortunately. So
Okay, but just don't say I would like to be. Just don't even say that.
And they'll say unfortunately at the end of that sentence.
Yeah, for real. I'm like, so what you holding on to? Huh? When she got that, I don't. And my friends, no, I'm not friends with any of my exes. But the only reasons I've always been friend with exes. Hey, listen, it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. Me personally, can I do it?
I can.
Yeah. Would I want to? Not really, because think about it. This is the same person who cried to you. And what usually happens in situations like that is I'm automatically by default going to be the person you run to when shit gets sideways. And if I'm a dirtbag, yeah, I'm going to be in some guts, yo.
The only thing that I would be kind of okay with is if if they never had sex. It was just more of like
listen
to me. Like
that's a free trial that went bad.
Like let's say they met on a dating app, they went on a few dates, try to get to know each other. They're like, yeah, we dated, we went out, but
they never boyfriend and girlfriend though.
Never actually happened and whatever. I'd be like, okay, fine. But that's it. Like that's because if you're inside a person,
but then that's not your ex then. That's just somebody you knew.
But some people would consider that exes.
Really?
Well,
I wouldn't consider that an ex at all.
It depends. If they had like a bond where it was intimate without the sex, because you could be intimate with somebody without having sexual relations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Louis.
Because it might have never crossed that path. But I understand what she's saying. Because on the real, it's like, I want to be your diary. I want to be the person you come to. I don't want an outside factor to basically hold secrets that I feel I'm supposed to hold. You get what I'm saying? And what that does, that irritates the possibility of moving forward, because now the question is, do you have feelings for this person? Why can't you cut them off? You know, just like it's the same reason why back in the day men wanted a virgin. Why? Because they wanted to be the first and the last. You get what I'm saying? So now instead of that, it's like, okay, I may not be your first love, but I'll be your last love. That sounds serial killish, but
Sarb's like, I want to be in her therapist's notes.
Oh, shit.
Period.
But yeah, you can't. I think it's possible. I just don't think it's wise, especially if you're in another relationship, because that's going to lead to confrontation. You know what I'm saying? Especially imagine
I can see that.
You chilling with them and you getting down and dirty and they say the other person's name.
So question, have you guys ever been with a partner, and you're getting to know them, asking them questions, and you ask them, how did your last relationship end? And were there any holes in their story?
All the time. Okay. All the time.
Interesting.
Woo.
One of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given.
Don't ask that question.
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Yeah, facts. Listen.
Because why?
Maybe you could avoid a red flag.
Maybe that problem won't even be brought up in my relationship.
That's a heavy risk to take.
I love risk.
I like calculated risk.
That over not being able to enjoy a meal, because that's all I'm thinking about now. I'm good. I'll let it come up if it arises. Deal with it then.
It comes down like this, like real talk. God, man, it's a really, really nasty situation that could brew up. Really nasty situation, like especially when you're dating single mothers. There's only one shorty in the 36 years of living that I gave her the utmost respect, because when I meet shorties, they talk so reckless about their baby daddy. And it's like, do you understand that your child's half of that person? So that part that you're hating on, you're hating half of your child. So be mindful to that. Another thing is, the reason I have so much, respect for this chick, we went out a couple times. Mind you, she called me cocky. I don't give a shit. Cocky because I told her, you're catching feelings, you need to chill out. But we gave into the question, like, what happened with your ex? Like, why did it fall out? And shorty dead ass looked me in my eye and she's like, truthfully, I cannot bash him. We were both young. We made a decision and it just wasn't the right thing. But he's attempting to be in his son's life. And that's all I could ever ask for, because it's about what's best for the child.
That's a mature answer.
So when she said that, I was like, damn, man, if you weren't so touchy, I possibly would want to keep going further.
If she wasn't so touchy?
Yeah, because here's the thing. When you chill, the vibe is right, but yet you could see when somebody is really into you, you could feel that. Like it was doing too much. We riding in the whip, listening to R&B music. That's my thing. Reminiscing, talking, because she was in my age bracket. So it was like, all right, cool. Next thing you know, she holding on my hands. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm cool with that. But then the argument was that when I would take her to the crib, I said, do not bring your daughter out. And she's like, why? I'm like, because it is not fair to her till we figure out what is going on here. Because I don't want to be a possible image of her seeing mommy with a man outside I don't know what we're doing here. This was just friends and seeing like if something could pick up to it. So every time she brought her daughter out, I felt it was disrespectful, not only to me, but to her daughter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I
it
feel
was
that.
like, you're forcing too much right now. We're just chilling. Every single time you bring your daughter out. Hey, how you doing, mama? Oh, you're so pretty. How's school? Da, da. You know, the typical parlay, you know, politics
Are
and
you my
whatnot.
dad?
Oh my God.
You're
So
not my
then
dad.
as she keeps bringing her out, I'm like, you're wishful thinking, like you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You could be attracted to me, but at the same time, the way I look at it from my end, you have a child. I'm not only dating you, I would be dating your daughter. I have to make sure that's something I'm willing to take upon myself as a responsibility.
That's kind of a weird thing to say. You should probably phrase that differently.
Yeah.
Okay, rephrase it, meaning
If you're gonna be in her life.
if I'm gonna be looking for a relationship with you, I'm actively gonna have a relationship with your daughter as an adult figure, and I need
As
to
a
make
father figure.
as a father figure, because you're not gonna be friends. Let's
Right.
be honest. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I feel that women in those situations, that's why I think the dating pool is harder for them, because number one, they're going for a male for survival, meaning they want somebody who could protect and provide. And now you have a kid that's innocent. And also for us men, we look at it as like, yo, if the relationship with your baby father is not healthy, is that something you want to deal with on an idle Tuesday? You know what I'm saying? 1 minute things are going good, and then daddy got in his feelings, the real father, and he come to the crib starting a whole bunch of, I done that. I'm not dealing with that. That's like the time I told you I was, dating that stripper. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah. So quick story time, right? I'm dealing with some shorty.
Everybody grab your popcorn.
Yeah, she was working at Showgirls. She had a daughter. It was her, we were chilling. And I remember I was like, all right, we're gonna go McD's. I had her daughters holding her hand, getting her a Happy Meal. Her mom comes in crying, bawling tears. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I'm thinking somebody died. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, my fucking ex. Da, da, da. I'm like, you see, this is why I knew I shouldn't have been messing with this chick. So she goes, oh, he stole my dog. I'm like, what do you mean he stole your dog? The girl owned a Chinese pug, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ex sends a picture of her dog out the window talking about, bitch, where is my clothes? So I tell her,
That's vicious.
yo, give the man back his clothes. I burned it. What are we gonna do? We.
Who is we?
Yo, it's
When did
only,
you start talking French?
for real. I'm like, yo, we're not even a month in. Not even a month in. I was like, yo, you're too crazy. You're too crazy. Can you imagine? I don't even know if the dog's alive, but I'm not dealing with that shit. I don't expect anybody to deal with that
So
shit.
what happened?
I left. What you mean?
So you don't know what happened with the
Nah,
dog?
I was like, yo, this
gonna
ain't
say.
happening, yo. Good luck to you. Peace out. Like, yo, oh, you really gonna do that? I thought you was a real one. I'm real quick. Real quick. I'm out, bro. I'm not
Dude,
dealing with that
it's
shit.
insane how toxic people can be. Like in a baby daddy, like
But why burn his clothes? Why?
She was probably
because
asking for it, bro.
they're both toxic. Like
Clearly, and my dumb ass
She-
put myself there.
she burned his clothes, and he is hanging her dog outside, threatening like, "Hey, where are my clothes?" Like,
Oh, how did I meet the stripper? First story. You know that song TLC? A scrub is a scrub. Da, 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 da. Always, always what he wants. Always.
No.
All right. So long, like I'm in my boy's passenger seat. He's driving, and this is in front of, I'll never forget in our house. And when he had a Crown Vic, it was a dunk sitting on 22s and shit. We're basing. And here comes this chicken in the Eclipse. And all you hear is, "Ham, ham." She can't drive for shit. So I'm looking at her.
she's revving.
Look, she can't.
She just can't drive.
She just can't drive. Like the she's
stick.
grinding gears. So I'm like
In a manual car.
in a manual car, and I'm like, yo, this bitch does not own this
At
car.
least she was putting in the effort.
Nah, Nate. This shit sounded like, you
Giving her the
ever seen
benefit of the doubt.
Transforming? That shit was
No,
like,
you do get the benefit of the doubt.
like it was trying to. Bro, she did horrible.
Let me guess, you were her knight in shining armor, and you swooped in.
Not even. She looks at me. She's like, "What's up, Pa?" And once I hear Pa or Poppy, I'm serenaded, yo. Like, yo.
Damn, she
ooh.
rizzed you up.
Oh, fuck yeah. So, mind you, I'm 18 at the time. Shorty's like 28, 29.
Oh,
I'm like, cool, you know?
what?
You
So-
fucked up.
Actually, that's called grooming. That's not
You
risk.
fucked up.
Yeah. So,
She knows.
next thing you know, she asked for my number. I was like, bet. And then, she left a message. She's like, yo, my name is, this is years ago. We're going to call her Cindy. And she's like, yeah, you could call me baby. You could call me Flocka. You could call me whatever you want, Bobby. And I was like, oof.
Oh, Flacco's a
Wow.
red
Riz
flag.
me
though.
up. Riz me up. But damn, that bitch was crazy. Have you ever dated a stripper?
No,
I don't
that's
think-
insane. Listen.
How's that insane?
Okay,
They're
hear me out.
OnlyFans
Hear me out. Right. Look, that's a lot of stress that comes behind that relationship. For instance, you can't even show up and give your girl some flowers because there's a fucking like a 2-bottle minimum to go see your girl and then just get a little dance.
Well, I used to make her take Listerine. I was so paranoid. Yo, you could call me toxic as fuck. She would have to use mouthwash before we made out.
You know, like how is
I
that
can respect
sustainable? Yeah, but that's like imagine your girl comes up and she's like, baby, you go. She's like, did you?
That's
use
why I
Listerine?
wouldn't
Like,
date a
it's just-
I can
stripper.
smell the balls on your mouth.
Have you ever dated
That's
an
what I-
OnlyFans girl?
No.
No?
See, I don't like to stress myself out in relationships.
What's
I
the
wouldn't-
craziest chick you ever been with?
A Colombian.
Whoa.
What about people that are in relationships with porn stars?
I think
God.
they are stronger than I'll ever be.
Bro, I'm sorry.
Yo,
yeah,
for real.
I don't see that relationship
Can you
ever
imagine?
working out.
How was your work, babe? Hard
I just
and
got
long.
fucked.
Like, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
what she
It was
said.
hard. It was
Yeah, we did
long.
an anal scene today.
Oh my god.
Like, can
There
you
was 3
imagine?
guys.
You imagine you roll over in the morning and your girl's like, babe, I'm so sore today, and you know it wasn't because of you. Like that
Nah,
would
the
just.
word-
Oh, look, Bert says you're not telling the truth.
Mm-mm.
You're not telling the truth, bro.
They don't believe you.
He got the juice.
About what?
Yeah.
I'm
But you
not
know
dating
what?
a stripper.
What's up?
No, I haven't
Are
dated.
you lying to us?
No,
You're
I haven't.
lying.
I haven't dated.
Hey, we don't walk on eggshells here.
I
Huh?
seriously haven't.
Yo, we
Did she
smell a
know
lot,
that
bro.
you weren't dating her, but she thought she was dating you? Is it one of those?
No,
Have you ever hooked up with like
I
a?
think don't listen to Bert. He just causing drama. there's no evidence of this.
Nah, okay, but no.
Oh wait, I have a question. Have you ever been with your homeboys and your homeboys are like, damn, like be with this girl, like hook us up, and she
Yeah,
happened to
wingman.
be because Jason has been in situations
I'm a
where
great
he's
wingman.
gotta.
I'm
Called taking one for the
wingman.
team.
Yeah, have you ever done that?
Yeah, you get with the uglier one so your friend can have a good time.
I guess, but in this case, the ugly one can be either like
Yeah.
a stripper or maybe an ugly one.
But like we're not like
Maybe
in a
an ugly
relationship.
one.
We're just
No,
Yeah,
no.
it's just taking one for the team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. What strippers fuck really good?
Oh,
It's
hold
okay.
up! You just snitched
Oh, so
yourself
you
out.
fucked a
So what you
stripper.
talking about?
a stripper.
So you fucked a stripper, but you ain't never fucked with one. Like,
I've never- yeah, I don't want to date one.
Did she text you back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
how'd you
cool.
get it? You rizzed her up.
Oh, okay.
I think
Things
so.
are getting interesting.
My
Wait,
bad.
now I'm
I think so.
curious.
What
What
was
was
it? This is gonna be an
it?
interrogation
How
looking
was
out.
it?
with the $25 that I have for a lap dance.
Oh man,
I did pretty good.
You know what the scariest thing is though? When you do go on a sidetrack, not to run on a tangent, when you go to a strip club and you know your man's ain't got money.
Oh,
That is the worst. That is
Yeah.
the worst.
I was that guy. I didn't have the money.
Oh God, you
But then
would give me a heart
like,
attack.
I finished the one lap dance and I was like, wait here. And I ran to my boys like, yo, cash at me 100 right now. And then I got 4 more lap dances. It was cool. It was worth it.
Wow.
Man pulled in the
Damn,
resources.
$25
I like
for a
that.
lap dance?
Yes.
That's cheap.
But you know what I think though? Strip
Not
clubs
bad.
when they're like, oh, it's like the dance is like the song long.
Mm.
Why are all those songs like the shortened version? Like they're all
Yeah.
like 45 seconds. You're like, that wasn't that paid for that? You know, you kind of like, you kind of.
The worst is like when they're there and like, you gonna tip me? Get your Tupperware
Wait, I have
titties
a
away
question.
from
Has
me.
it always been like that?
What?
Like
You never
Are
been to
you-
a strip club?
no.
Oh, we
gotta
gotta pop
go.
your cherry.
I've never
Yeah.
been to a strip club, and I probably would never.
No.
ever go.
You're gonna go now.
No,
Like,
I
okay,
just-
wait.
So much fun.
Because I
I will not.
want to ask in terms of like, do you guys know how it was before, like years ago? Because I'm assuming industries like these have to go through changes.
It's changed dramatically.
So were dances usually longer and then they shortened it?
No, so how at least when I was going to strip clubs, because I had to take dudes like as rappers and shit from out of state. How it
Mhm.
works is they have the stage, the girl goes on, she works the pole, some go up to the stage throwing money. Then she gets down from the stage, she goes around collecting tips, right? If you don't want to tip, you don't have to. But the problem is when you don't tip, the first thing they do, they get the security guard and then they press you like, yo, you ain't being here just chilling and shit. I'm like, well, if she wants money, she can go get me a beer. I'll tip her for that. I was that asshole, bro. I used to go on my PJs, dead ass. And then, the culture has changed dramatically because like even now I heard they're taxing. So to get singles, you have to pay for that. And usually it's a tax like $20. Now I heard if you try to change 100, they're collecting $30 off that 100. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have to be careful because different strippers, different rates. So if it's like one of their top line ones, you get a champagne room with her, that shit can range anywhere from 150 to 500, depending on how crazy she gets with it. And it depends what type of strip club you're in. I haven't gone in the last 11 years. Is it still like that? When was the last time you went? Like 2 days.
Yesterday?
Like, no, it's like a I don't know, probably like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Apple.
happened?
And Valentino.
Oof.
They were cool as fuck. No, just to make clear, like we didn't like fuck them or anything like that. They were just like the coolest strippers I probably ever met in my life.
No, some of them are
No,
down.
I mean,
Like,
some people are cool as
some
fuck,
are
but I
down.
just-
One of them was like an engineer designer, like she was like makes her own clothing and stuff, and like it was just really cool to see.
Yeah, some of them are really outgoing.
Yeah.
Like they have like really good professions.
Kylie Starr said, God damn. And Brevin says, here in Canada is dangerous industry with all the loonies and toonies being thrown at the stage.
Bert wants to know why Lewis will not go to a strip club.
Yeah, why won't you go to strip club? Cuz?
I don't know, bro. I got too much respect for women, to be
What?
honest, and I would lose so much being there. And
What?
Bro,
I'm
what's
not-
the difference between that and Instagram?
bro? I mean, I'm not even on Instagram, so how about that?
You Jehovah Witness
Girlfriend will love you
over
for that
here.
answer.
Look, listen. I just personally, I'm not that dude to like go out to a club, party, get drunk. Strip club, the same thing.
Hear me
I
out.
wouldn't go out there to get a lap
I
dance
stopped
kind of thing.
going because I don't pay for blue balls. My
Yeah, I'm not
rule
gonna
was,
pay for that,
like,
bro.
yo, why are you
I'm
going?
sorry, I'm not gonna
like,
pay
I
for
don't
that.
want you to get me hard. Then I have a heartbeat in my pants, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not paying for
Like,
that.
yo, I remember one time there was a chick, White Diamond. She's like, yeah, I can feel your heartbeat. I was like, yeah, you know what? This is not gonna work. Because if you can't smash, yeah. If you can't smash, you're probably gonna catch something. If you can't smash, you're losing money. It's a lose-lose situation. So I feel you on that one. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? No disrespect. Shout out to White Diamond. I
Yo,
don't know if you're
respect
retired.
Lewis. Respect Lewis.
Listen, Lewis.
Respect.
Shout out everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yeah.
Make sure if it's your
It's about to
first
be
time,
fun.
you hit that like and subscribe button, baby.
Please.
Now, I know we went on a tangent.
We did. So,
we were talking about
who
being
ends
held
up being accountable after a
breakup.
breakup?
I think it comes. Well,
I
let's
think it's
do a
on
quick.
both parties.
Yes, both. To give my final thoughts on it, so we can get into the next one. My final thoughts on it. When it comes to a relationship that comes to an end, you always want it to break off clean. And the one thing I know, I think I speak for most males, when it's a real relationship, we want closure out of it sometimes, and sometimes we don't get that. And I think on the women's end, I think most women just want security and knowing that everything ended off on a good note.
Right.
And want to actually work with it. But because emotions are involved, emotions is like liquor. It impairs your ability to operate and think rationally. And because of that, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what leads to the disconnect of people not being accountable, because nobody wants to admit they lost on something they tried hard for.
Yeah.
That's my final thoughts. What about you?
Yeah, nobody wants to take the loss on that.
Yeah. My final thoughts. You know, I think people who aren't held accountable, who don't hold themselves accountable after a breakup, don't really know how to properly navigate their feelings and how to properly navigate like what's wrong, what's right in like the relationship.
Agreed.
Because in growing up, at least, through teenage years, young adulthood, some people don't want to feel like it's their fault. And if they're not properly disciplined, then they'll do anything to pin the fault on the other person, because then it
They don't
rids
wanna
them
look bad,
of
yeah.
it rids them of any fault,
Clean slate.
and it's a
They're
clean
victims.
slate.
They're
But
victims.
Yeah.
it's so important to realize the damages that you yourself have done and to grow from those mistakes and
I
be a better
agree.
person, because at the end of the day, if in the moment the other person doesn't recognize that you are being the bigger person and doing the right thing, in the long run, like, you'll recognize that in yourself. And I think a lot of people don't learn to do that. Like, it doesn't come naturally for some people to realize the values that they have.
I respect that. I like
Yeah,
that. Yo,
respect.
clap for Nate.
Yeah.
Yo, that was beautifully executed, yo. Good shit. Great shit. What about you?
No,
Lewis?
I
Final
definitely
thoughts?
agree with what Nate said. I think with not today's day and age, relationships, like, everybody just is toxic, especially in breakups, which is unfortunate because it leaves people traumatized. So now when it comes to the next person coming in, they're dealing with like the baggage from the old relationship, which I don't fuck
next
with.
person pay for it.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that at all. I like to talk about my feelings and then end it off cleanly, right? But I think at the end of the day, both people should be held accountable because there was wrongs on both sides, and they just don't like to admit that. But it's a part of growing.
Yeah.
3 sides to the story.
Yep.
Her side, his side, and then
And
the
the
truth.
truth.
Yeah.
Amen.
I feel that. What about
Yep.
you, G?
I think a lot of people aren't prepared to be in relationships, but they choose to do so.
Okay, when you said they're not prepared to be in a relationship, break that down a little bit. I want to see where this is going.
So when it comes to relationships, you have to be like, your mind has to be prepared to take on another person's life. at the same time that you're doing your life.
Facts.
And that's a lot of weight because you at the same time, like it's easy to make yourself happy, but now you have to keep in mind making another person happy.
But do you think that falls? Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Do you think, because one thing I always say, people are responsible for their own happiness. So
It's true.
do you think when you're in a relationship, part of that happiness does fall on that partner?
Absolutely, because it's your, you like I said, when you basically when you do take on that responsibility of being with them, you're making active decisions that are impacting that person, and you're impacting their feelings, their emotions. So let's say you just want to chill at the house, but your girl wants to go out, and she's just like, hey, babe, are we still going to the mall? You're like, nah, I'm good. I just want to hang out.
Compromise.
And now all of a sudden, you think she's gonna be happy?
No,
you ruin her mood, and ultimately, yeah, she's responsible for her own emotions, like whatever. But
you're
affecting that happiness. So
feel that.
And it's just like when you choose to take down that role, you have to be prepared for that. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people come with baggage. A lot of people are still messed up from their exes. A lot of people
trauma.
It's just it's easier to jump to a new person than to work on yourself, because when you work on yourself from a past relationship, you have to come into terms with all the stuff that you did wrong. And a lot of people hate that. A lot of people don't want to be like, oh, I was wrong at all.
Facts.
So it's like it's a lot of people are scared to be open with themselves and just kind of go through the motions of like, yes, I fucked up. I wasn't considerate. I wasn't consistent. I put other people before my girl. I did this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be like, yo, she pissed me off, and I had to be angry, and I was.
Yeah, they're gonna cut it short instead of being truthful.
Exactly. And then whoever they speak to, they're obviously gonna be the hero in that story, because it's just easier that way for some. But I don't know, man. Heal yourself first, get into a relationship and just feel love. Don't be defensive. Don't look for fights.
Love is a job.
Just enjoy it.
It's
but it is tough.
I always say
for sure.
Love is a job. It's a 9 to 5. You don't get to call out. You don't get to call in sick.
It's an everyday thing.
What you don't do ultimately ends up biting you in the ass, because what you're not willing to do, the next person is. And that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice everything, but you do have to compromise in order to make a relationship work, whether it's a boyfriend, a friendship, family members. You have, even with your job, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you don't feel that the work you're putting in is reciprocated or respected, that's when shit starts to go downhill. So I strongly agree with you.
Yeah.
Kaylee Star's like, it's a commitment to each other. Yes,
Yeah.
you're 100% right. Kylie, sorry. And Bert says you need to put a Bold Studio sticker on.
I agree.
Your...
Bert, you gotta hook me up with a sticker and a hat.
Okay.
Oh, and a little pause. You should also put in the fresh meal sticker.
Oh yeah,
we actually have a sticker.
Oh, now I'm gonna put it
The
on
one
my
that he
computer.
gave us, so you can put it on your computer.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on my computer right here for everyone to see.
Which reminds me, don't forget to follow his Instagram, you guys.
Flavor Fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, Bert came
Here
in.
comes the sticker.
Yo,
Bert
you see
hooked it up.
this? You see this? Yeah.
Shout out
Man,
Bert and
there
Boa
you go.
Studios.
Shout out, Bert. He
There
got the
you
sticker.
go.
He got the sticker.
All right,
He
y'all.
got 5 on it.
Speaking of shout out,
Walking in nothing do we.
follow the fresh meals on Instagram. The food is
Flavor
home-cooked.
Fresh meals.
The food is home cooked. It's delicious. It's healthy, and it's an amazing, reasonable price.
It's one of those things.
Hey.
Listen here,
Oh,
bro.
this
Let me
is
tell
the
you something.
plug.
See,
That is
right
awesome.
now, one thing we like to do here on this podcast, yo, we represent local businesses. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you got a business out there, hit us up, yo. We love to network. It's about putting it on for us. McDonald's, all these other dudes, they're commercials. F that.
Lame.
We're here about celebrating people's work who put in the hard time and effort. So
Real.
run here on 1424. If it's one thing for sure, two things for certain,
baby.
you got a
know where it
business
is.
out there, holla at your boy, yo. We gonna put y'all on the map. It's nothing but love here. Nate
Oh,
looking
there it is.
Oh, man.
Woo! And here, as you guys know, is the logo for Flavor Fresh.
Wrong camera.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
there you go.
Flavor Fresh
Flavor.
meals.
There's a hat, you
Again,
guys.
definitely trust me.
Do I got swag, you
Tastes
guys?
so good, make you want to slap your mama.
Let me
You
know in
guys
the
can
comments
see
about
mama.
swag.
The Boa Studios sticker.
Yeah,
Shout out.
you got the Flavor Fresh. Boy, man, I'm in a fucking high school right now. So, with
I
that
love
being
stickers.
said, gentlemen,
With that being said,
Nate, what's our next topic?
let's go into the next topic. Let's do a little story time let's give some relationship advice. Because I definitely want to hear your take and what you would do in this if you were in this situation.
What I would do?
Yes, what
Act
you
the
men
fool.
would do.
Act the fool.
Okay, so the person telling the story time is a 44-year-old male.
Okay.
So it says, my wife, 42 female, is terrible in bed.
Oof. Already
My-
off to a strong start.
My wife and I have been married for more than 2 decades and have 2 teens.
20 years.
I genuinely love her to death and find her very attractive, but she always has been a dead fish in bed. Emotionally, we are very connected, so I could overlook our lack of sexual chemistry since I figured it would improve as we grew together. It hasn't. Backstory. I have about 4 times as many partners as she does, and out of all of them, sex with her has always been the least satisfying. She has always claimed I have been her best lover, and I believe her, but she could be lying. She comes from a conservative Christian background and was sheltered growing up. I am a very passionate man with an average to high libido and very adventurous in bed. We communicate daily, and I have expressed my needs, wants, and desires, but she finds it incredibly difficult to reciprocate and or claims to not have any fantasies or kinks. I am not naive and know this means she is probably just scared to reveal them, and I truly expect anything she says to be rather vanilla, but you never know what her deepest desires are. I just know I can accept anything she says, and I'm more than willing to experiment with almost anything she could come up with. Anyways, I have tried to spice things up. I introduced toys a long time ago. She doesn't like toys.
In her butt.
She doesn't like toys. I have suggested all kinds of activities. That's disgusting, or I saw that in a movie and it's gross. Anything I say, she has a reason why that's not something she wants. She just
20 years?
She just lays there while I get her off, and hopefully I can finish at some point. I'm not selfish in bed whatsoever, but I don't want to have sex with a fleshlight. I'm not sure what more I could do. I figure after 2 decades, it hasn't changed. It's not going to. What can we do to improve? And then it's just a regular, like, my wife is the worst lay. My wife is the worst lay of my life, and communication, experimentation, and suggestions haven't helped in over 20 years of marriage. What can we do to improve?
Damn, he shot on her, bro. He shot on her.
Right.
I feel bad for her.
I'm gonna go last on this one because I'm gonna cook at the end. What Nate, you started off being that you're the woman.
That's tough. That's tough.
That's tough because
being together over 20
years,
decades,
2 kids. I mean, she's good enough to get pregnant, whether it's a turtle on her back. But what do you think about that, Nate? Like, what do you think about it, and what would you do to spice it up?
Okay,
if it was the other way around.
Like,
is your man here?
I think he's outside with the dogs. He brought his dogs today, but they were not going to stop coming on the door. But
pause.
Yeah. My mind is gutted right now.
I didn't want to say nothing.
You said they didn't stop coming on the door.
I said that?
Yes.
I thought I said like tapping on the door.
No, that's what you said. You said coming.
Right?
Whatever. Anyways, honestly, I am just so, like, I hope that doesn't happen to me because that's such a sticky situation to be in. Imagine you're with your partner for like 20 plus years and your other partner is terrible in bed.
He's probably cheating on her.
Well, also he did mention he has had multiple partners, which means
he has a like experience.
Yeah.
And he also mentioned that she, comes from a conservative background, and so it's safe to assume that she doesn't have quite the experience as he does. So probably all she knows is to just lay there like.
But how would you spice it up? Like, not only how would you spice it up, the better question is how would you introduce it? Because it seems that she's nervous from what he's saying.
Yeah, honestly, okay, so a lot of girls have, like he said, a lot of girls have different fantasies, different kinks, so it's whatever makes her comfortable. She should try to, experiment with it within her boundaries to see what would turn her on. A lot of women get turned on in sex by like physical stimulation or even foreplay.
Bert says he was not honest from the beginning. I agree.
Yeah, that could be true.
So
like what a lot of couples do that I've seen like on TikTok is that they'll go to bars with their partners, pretend like they don't know each other, and like the guy
role play.
We'll do a role play, like we'll like hit on her and like show like play hard to get or whatever.
But that could backfire.
And I think that's so like a little sexy sometimes because
really?
Like depending on the partner, I told my man, I'm like, we should totally do this for funsies one day because that's like
funsies
so fun.
So you like role play?
I love role play, and she should just find something that she wants to do because this is my opinion.
Okay.
whenever people express that they come from like a conservative background and are like waiting for marriage, I totally respect that. People should do what makes them comfortable, what they believe in. I get that.
Yeah, but those be
But
the
when it
biggest
comes-
freaks, though.
When I don't know. But when it comes down to it, you know, it's say I don't know. For me, I assume that they'd be nervous about it, which is completely understandable. But with what comes repetition and doing something over and over again,
It gets boring.
you get comfortable doing it. So if she's been comfortable doing nothing for like 20 years,
it's like trying to teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for her to try something different.
Bro, I think sex is definitely important, especially if you're gonna be married to someone for the rest of your
Facts.
life, because you're stuck with that. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to say stuck, but you're committed to that
devoted
person.
to that
Well,
person.
he's stuck.
Yeah, he's
a
stuck.
lot of women, you know, a lot of their orgasms and their pleasures are all mental. So like if you're in the middle of pleasuring your girl and like let's say her eyes are closed, you know, she's like focused.
I want to lick your brain. I want to feed you math
She
problems.
can probably distract herself to control herself. Like,
But when you say distract yourself, right? Again, mind you, guy here, we're
Okay.
completely on a different spectrum when it comes to that shit. What would you say is the best way for a man to stimulate a woman's mind intimately?
Initiative.
It takes two to tango. So if she is not in her clear thoughts, like she has to put in work so he can put in work, because you know.
But in this case, she's not willing to put in the work. So
she has to.
Because if not, it's gonna fail. So
It's
if she's
gonna
not,
already
so
failed,
what
I
you're
think.
saying is she's not open-minded to it. There's no saving it.
Yeah, because a lot of women, like their back is very sensitive. So if she fucks with you and you just like rub her back like very softly, you know, that'll get to her. That'll be the beginning moments of the foreplay.
Touch
Yeah.
If like he does that and she's not having it, like she just like she's mentally trying to block it off. Like she feels it. She feels the sensation, and she knows that if she lets herself, like all of it comes flooding in, something could happen. But if she chooses to like block it off, that means that she's closely not closed off and she's not accepting it.
Yeah.
What about
Do you think
Lewis?
that's because of her background?
Could be. There's a lot of factors that take into play, but we don't know.
Facts.
Because all we know
The
is what we've
information's not
read.
there.
Yeah.
What
But
do
it
you
could
think?
be.
I don't know. If he noticed that from the beginning, I probably wouldn't have continued it, to
I mean,
be honest.
Dan had 2 kids, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Because again,
If they're teens,
assuming
he should have
shortly
noticed from the
after.
beginning.
but also I assume they're in love. Love is a big
Yeah.
factor, because when you love somebody, we put up with a lot of shit
Mhm.
that we wouldn't if we didn't love that person. I think that's what's conflicting him, because a lot of times, a lot of partners, a lot of men, to be ideal, find themselves in a situation where they love the woman, but because they love them so much, they fall back from what they truly desire. But what ends up happening is it becomes an irritant where it starts stacking up, and as it stacks up, it overspills, and then they blow up. So to put that out, what you were saying?
Honestly, I think that she needs to be more open-minded to those things, especially if he's voicing his opinion, saying that he's not enjoying sex with her, then she needs to be more open about it, because I definitely think that sex, you know, isn't just an act. It's more than that. It's how you show love to that person.
I have a question. How do you
Well,
from like okay, I mean I can ask a question later. You guys can
what do you think, G?
Get a couple $100, go down to the strip club, get some coochie, bro. It's over.
Oh my
He's
Let's be
god.
probably
honest.
already doing that.
We're not about to, he's not about to fix a 20-year problem. Like, and having kids, I mean, we'll fuck anything. And if we just don't pull out, a kid appears. And you know, so it's not like it was about to happen, especially over the course of 20 years.
Ticking time bomb.
Honestly though, hey, 2 kids, 20 years, only 1 woman, not bad. Good for him,
Not
you
mad
know?
at all. Like, but at the same
respectable,
time,
but
he's
done.
lying
But
to
he's not
himself,
enjoying
man.
it. Yeah.
No, he's not.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when dudes, well, male or female, when they lie to themselves, ideally they target their partner for their lack of commitment to what they already started. You get what I'm saying? Like they're making the partner pay because they're not able to sustain themselves, which is technically kind of selfish. And if I may take it on this, like I think being that he has, and this is where I think I said it on an earlier episode, when you have too many partners, you open up a door that you possibly can't close anymore, because you've done so much shit. Mind you, I'm pretty sure the fact that he mentioned that he had multiple partners before her, you probably did some wild shit. Now you're fixated on a certain scale that you like, and she's not able to do that for you. And now that leads you to think about the past. You know what I'm saying? Same reason why a lot of men say they don't want a woman with a high body count. And I think women don't want a man with a high body count as well. But and at the same time, they kind of do, because women naturally like a man to take charge and give them the experience. We're not talking all. We're talking for like the majority side from what we see on those red pills and the blue pill channels and those interviews. But with him, listen, 20 years, can you teach or something? Yeah. I mean, yeah, put the thumb in the butt, you know. No, on a serious
20 years, that butt was probably like fucking
tighter than each other. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That shit is a tight portal, yo, suction cap, you know. But
do men like having sex with toxic women?
Yes.
Oh my God, anytime.
Yes.
Yo, fuck my mental health.
What?
Mental health.
For real. Because,
bring her on.
Well, back to him, like, I think what he should honestly do, he has to go talk to somebody, right? Because if you're expressing that to your partner, this is who your partner was from day one. If you're scared, go to church. You knew what the fuck you signed up for. So there's no mercy for you. 20 years, 2 kids. You have made choices that you have to be committed to. And unfortunately, and this is not to bash the girl, again, what you're not willing to do, another woman is. You have to compromise and be compassionate towards the situation, because we are wired a different way. You know what I'm saying? I could say for every male here, we don't want a chick that just sits on her back. Yo, switch up position, sew a leg up. You know what I'm saying? Ride that donkey. You know,
Fuck
like
me
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's really unfortunate, because what ends up usually happening in those situations grows a resentment towards your partner. And as you see from what he's saying, he has resentment towards her, because it's like, well, now you're talking about women that were in your past relationship. That was then, this is now. Honor what you have. And sometimes not going to see a psychiatrist, but yo, there's sex workshops that you can do where you could try different positions, try different methods of, you know, how you said, like stimulate the mind.
But I think he tried that with her.
But it's also how the delivery went. You get what I'm saying? Because you could try shit, but if he's not delivering it correctly, that could be basically a roadblock, because that can make her uncomfortable. If you properly, it's like, okay, what would you rather have? Somebody throw you in the pool or show you how to get into the water and, you know, navigate? Some people like to be thrown in the pool. Some people like to be walked through because it's a new experience.
Throw me in the 3 feet.
Yeah.
Pool.
Well, imagine he's done it. She's never done it. So he's essentially popping her cherry in that aspect. And I think he needs to have more compassion towards her, especially this is the mother of your children. You know what I'm saying? So sex is working. It just may not be to the terms you like. And a lot of times, when I say it to you gentlemen, that's why I say don't watch porn and indulge in that type of lifestyle, because what ends up happening, it's not real. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to meet a chick who's going to give you the gok 3000 all the time. Don't get caught up on this social media shit thinking that's how women are supposed to be. Mind you, Christian morals. We already know how this goes, you know, wait for marriage. The missionary style, very boring for most of us, but that's her upbringing. You get what I'm saying? And I really feel bad, because in my opinion, if this was Am I the Asshole, he would be the asshole, because it's not like you didn't know this. He said it himself. He was hoping that she was changed. No, the person who you met is still the same person. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that usually changes with people is their ambitions and what drives them in life.
You're absolutely right.
This is who you knew she was. Accept that as a man and stop crying about it. If you're scared, go to church. It's not like she gave you a front and put on an image that wasn't correct. She's been like this since day one. You said it yourself. You just lied to yourself about who she was. You were hoping that she would change up. And when she didn't, you're making yourself the victim, like, oh, poor me. No, poor you, nigga. You chose your partner. If women are the gatekeepers to sex, you're the gatekeeper to marriage and fucking relationships. So you took it upon yourself to open that door and wife her up. You can't fault her for that. I fault him. That's my final thoughts on it.
I agree.
Wow, I agree. Yeah.
I think he fucked up.
Really?
Welcome to Death Row.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now, what question did you want to ask?
I mean, you kind of already answered it. I was gonna say more of like when you have a couple who's very conservative that grew up in that kind of lifestyle and in their belief system. at least for me, you hear a lot of wait till marriage. Okay, but what happens after marriage? Like, you know,
It's a job. It's a job. And as I say, what she's not willing to do, another man is. And some people are fine with that because sex is something that also ties into your morals. You get what I'm saying? You have your morals, you have your foundation. And asking somebody to break that is like asking them to cut themselves.
No, right.
Realistically, this is what she's known. And I feel, in my opinion, if he were to introduce that early, he could have avoided this problem. Because again, dudes could say, yo, they want a woman with a low body count. And truth of the matter is,
They don't.
men want a woman with experience. They're just too fucking cowardly to admit it. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, I wouldn't want a virgin. Would you want a virgin? Would you want a virgin? Why?
Fuck no.
It's like, would you want to get in the car with a person who's never fucking been behind the wheel? Hell's not. And you about to drive on the highway? Fuck no.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, it's a feeling, it's an expression. It needs to be compensated. And real shit, in my opinion, he's being selfish as fuck.
Do you know
The Muffin Man?
do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
If the Bible says anything about like sex,
Yes.
what does it say?
So sex, okay. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes to sex in the Bible, it's the sacred bond between the mother, the father. You have God blessing your marriage. Now, there's also saying in the Bible, do not sodomize. We all know what sodomize is. Love is a transaction, and sodomize means anal. Like you don't sodomize your partner.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just with your thumb.
Right?
Or tongue.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
I don't eat the booty
Good
like
point.
groceries.
You should though.
No.
Oh.
She gotta bleach it first.
Wait. This is a bad transition from God. No.
No,
This is facts.
go back,
Okay,
go back.
So thank you.
Rewind.
So in the good book, that is something basically being bonded, what we call soul ties. You know what I'm saying? You're intimate, the head press, you know what I'm saying? And with the head press, you know what the head press is, right?
Yeah.
All right. When you do that, we exchange each other. You know what I'm saying? You absorb what that person have, they absorb what you have. That's why it's bad to have multiple partners. Because if you fucking sleep with somebody who's truly fucked up spiritually, you're gonna absorb some of that. Think about it. When you finish laying with your partner, they could be gone. You're still feeling them. You know what I'm saying? Both male and females. You like take a carbon copy of that, and it becomes now part of you.
Yo, I saw a post on like Twitter that said this was a someone who was a child of parents and saying like, oh, I'm curious because my parents are anything but soulmates, but they never leave each other. And like they did some tests to find out that they were like twin flames, and they're like, oh, they're twin flames. They're never leaving each other.
Yeah, they're bonded. That's it.
And it's crazy to think about that happens.
You know how many? Well, here's the thing. The one fear that most men have, believe it or not, is when they get married to have a sexless marriage. That is our fucking fear. Because, mind you, we choose you. We're invested into you. You are now our job. You're our priority. And we don't want to, most men don't want to be with a partner who's not going to keep it up. That's another thing that goes sideways in a lot of relationships is like, yo, you know how you have the honeymoon phase? Well, yeah, the girl's throwing it back, the clapping, the, doing the nah-ha, the nah-ma, the nah, you know what I'm saying? The nah-ma, you hear, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, because of that, what ends up happening when you seal that deal, you marry that person, the mindset, and it's not only women, it's also men, they give up. Just because you're married or in a relationship, you still have to stay in competition mode. You still have to stay fighting for that person. You still have to honestly put in the work to make that person feel respected and wanted. Men need to be loved. Women need to feel wanted. And the reason why I say that 1,000 times over is men, our love language is sex, respect, and touch. That's our love language. Women, however, you guys are a lot more complicated. But the main factor is your lady has to feel wanted by you. Because if your partner does not make you feel wanted, you'll go where you are wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And men need to understand that shit. Just because she's wearing the ring that you got her, just because she's the mother of your kids, doesn't mean you can slack on the job. And the same thing with women. Just because he wifed you up, just because he made you have his last name, doesn't mean you get to sit back and not take care of yourself. No, bro. You got to keep it up to date. This is a competition that never stops. It is a 24/7 job. There are no days off. And when you have the mindset where I could kick it back and not do shit, bro, you only shoot yourself in the foot. Real talk.
Fellas, just because you fuck doesn't mean you got to stop taking her on dates and getting her the flowers.
Amen.
You know, just that, like, in your mind, you're like, I'm already here. I'm in it. Like, she likes me.
That's
I fuck.
crazy.
No.
Amen.
At that point,
Real shit. He's
go
right.
go do those other little things still, because
Yeah,
then that you keep
gotta
doing
stay
that.
dating, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta stay dating.
So y'all fuck up and not doing that.
What's on the next topic, love?
Okay, so let's do a little recap of the soccer player incident that happened last week.
Oh, yes.
So
Go ahead,
to
Jay.
bring you up to terms, a soccer player that was apparently, they won the championship, and the owner, as he was giving them their medallions and flowers, grabbed one of the players and forcefully kissed her. Now, to the old school, they see it as harmless. The best representation to compare it to is like when the war ended and that famous soldier grabs the nurse and makes out with her in front of Times Square. That it was a happy and joyous moment. Now, here where it gets sideways. The same woman that he kissed is now claiming sexual assault, but it backfires because with the updated video, it shows that same soccer player in the team laughing about it, celebrating. And when the owner came on, they were like, besito, besito, like encouraging that behavior. So at what point in time did you now change yourself from being happy and celebrating with this man to saying that you were attacked?
But who are you like referring to? Are you referring to the soccer player or the team?
Both are in on it. So in the video, it shows her smiling and blushing. And when he comes on the bus, they're like, besito, besito, gives him a hug and everything. You would think everything is peachy. Now, the reason why it's so upsetting is there are actual women out here who are being sexually assaulted, who are part of the Me Too movement, who are truly victims. It seems like from what they're showing us, again, this is what they're showing us. There's always three sides, his side, her side, and the truth, that they're just using it as a grab. Because I'll tell you right now, for the shorties I know that have been sexually assaulted, they ain't laughing about that shit. They're not celebrating. They're not making jokes. They're strong-headed on the fact like, no, fuck this person. How dare they do that? But here you are on video cheering, making jokes, and encouraging the same behavior to happen again when he came on the bus by saying besito, besito, and you're here sipping out of a champagne bottle like maybe she was under the influence. We don't know. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of times we see this shit happen all the time. We made a reference to Johnny Depp. You know what I'm saying? The man is innocent. But before that court trial even happened, what was happening? Oh, he's a piece of shit. Take away his fucking movie deal, make him pay. He's a pig. He's a dog. And turns around, this bitch lied about the whole situation. But guess what? His character has been assassinated because no matter how good he does, no matter what he does, he's always going to be tied to that scandal. And it was completely based off a lie. And that's why I say now, seeing the new evidence that came upon, the guy is still a dirtbag. Don't take that away from him. He does bad shit. Man used money to go to a brothel and pay for prostitutes while he has a whole family. He's a misogynistic prick. However, you encouraged it.
You don't think she felt pressured by the rest of the team?
Well, that's
because
why,
like in that situation, I mean, you know, she's not gonna be like, oh no, like what the fuck? I don't like that shit. You know, like, and her team was like encouraging that.
That's why I can't trust people.
But you saying the team encouraged that, right? Even if they encourage that, now you guys are standing together as solidarity to go after this man.
Yeah, like the team, I feel like
that's
they're
bullshit.
hypocrites.
They're very big hypocrites because a lot of times we see it all the time where it's just male versus male. Yo, we can have a drunk night out. It's that one homeboy like, yo, I bet you can't jump off the car while it's moving. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be that person who instigates you, and that's what happens, yo. You be careful with who you surround yourself with because they could fuck you up.
Yep, bro, that's crazy.
We all been in that situation. Now, on the recap, I'll say my final thoughts first, and then we'll go around. My final thoughts on that is shame on her because you didn't file a police report right away. You entertained it, you laughed about it, and when you saw it could be beneficial, you decided to now hit it full force. And the team that's supporting you behind it hurts you because you're major hypocrites since they advocated on it, made jokes about it, and let's be real, she could have felt nervous. She could have been like, well, I have to go with this because I want to fit in. That happens all the time where people sign up for things they truly don't want to do, but because of peer pressure around them, it jacks them up because they want to be accepted. And that might be the case, but she needs to speak up and own up to it. Because just as she's coming full force at this head owner, she needs to come full force at the same team that basically encourages that behavior and made light of the situation. Those are not your friends. They set you up for failure. Your final thoughts.
Yo, this is why I can't trust anything on the internet because of shit like this. You know, something happens, there's a headline, and then next week the headline's different.
Facts.
Yeah.
And it's
there's
like,
truth
is
uncovered.
this just clout? Is this real? Is this all for publicity? Like, you know,
What the fuck is it?
the best thing that we can do is just, you know, support the movement, you know, support people who
the real victims.
the real victims, you know, and just.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Have you ever felt pressured, maybe not gone through sexual assault, I hope to God you never have, but have you ever hung around a group who try to encourage that type of behavior? And if so, how did it make you feel and how did you handle it?
So yes, not
Okay.
a group, but like a person.
Okay.
I was like growing up in like my teen years, I was very like a little naive, very nice. I was so innocent and easily manipulated.
You were young.
I did not grow a backbone yet, let me tell you. And I wish I had. I would have saved myself a lot of trouble. But it was a guy, it was a teenage boy, just like me, like a teenage girl. And it was the type of relationship where the guy is too nice, like extra friendly to the point where you feel bad for saying no, because then his feelings make.
Explain that to me.
Okay.
Because you said, and I hear this all the time with
Okay.
a lot of women, you felt bad.
Yeah.
Why did you feel bad? Why
For setting
would you,
boundaries.
Yeah, why? You should never feel bad for setting bad. What made you feel bad?
Okay, so
I'm sorry to get into.
no, it's
I wanna
okay.
learn.
So just for people to learn from it. You know, as a teenager, we're coming of age. We all go through shit. And when I was a teenager, you know, at the time, I had a guy who showed interest in me, and this guy was very friendly. You know, very smooth. You know, had a lot of riz.
Chivalry.
I guess for a teenage guy, I guess. And so it was all fun and games at first until I started setting like boundaries, or what I would recall are boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, for being a teenager. And he, you know, he would just be like, "Oh no, it's okay." You know, like for example, like he would put my arm like here. He would put his hand like right here, and I'd be like, "Oh, haha," you know, just take put your arm right here. I'd be like, "Haha," whatever, and he would again forcefully like go like that, but it would be on my thigh, not my arm.
Yeah.
And we were in class, like the teacher was in the middle of like a lesson, and so
You
I
didn't
would
smack him.
And so I didn't want to cause any attention to myself, because then if I'm like, "Yo, like, can you stop touching me?" and then everyone is looking at me, and then now I'm having a panic attack because everyone is like, "Yo, what's going on?" And then like I was overthinking it, so I'm like, if nobody's looking, then maybe it's not real. And so and then okay, I remember you know, I had gotten back together with my ex at the time, and so he saw me in the hall and he just like rolled his eyes and he was like very upset because like I guess he like lost his chance or something. And so that made me feel bad. I don't know why, because it was like his emotions were like, "How dare you do this to me?" And I'm like, I didn't mean to make you feel bad. Like those weren't my intentions. Mind you, I'm a teenager. I have horrible confrontation issues. You know, I tried my best to like explain myself, but then he comes around and emotionally manipulates me. And so it was a little toxic.
So what? Okay.
Like, and this was a reoccurring behavior.
Really?
To the point where like, I finished high school. I had him blocked, at the time on my social media.
Okay.
And then some time had passed and he had like messaged me on like another account.
Oh, stalker.
It's like apologizing for everything.
Okay.
And I didn't reply back. I didn't even put it into my general like messages.
You just brushed it off.
I just read it, I laughed, and I just like deleted it.
Okay. Being that you went through that, what would be word of advice that you would tell these young ladies or ladies your age? What advice would you give them that you wish you had going into situations like that?
Always
stand up for themselves.
Stand up for yourself. Always trust your gut feeling. So if something in you is telling you that this isn't right, follow that feeling. It's not right, And if you're scared of the retaliation of what they might say or do, like if you feel like they might not physically do anything to you, but more so just like verbally just tell you off, like, oh, it wasn't even that big of a deal, like gaslight you, just stay true to your ground. I promise you, if you stay true to yourself and you're honest with yourself and you're like, nothing that you can say will make me feel like shit. Like you can gaslight me all you want, but I know in my gut that what you're doing is manipulative and you're gaslighting me. And I don't need a person like you in my life. Even though we're like, this is in high school, so if you're like in the same class, be like, I don't care. I will ignore you. But like in the adult world, it's a lot easier because you can just either block someone on the internet and just possibly like not see them.
Well, guys, I'll say it like this. You're never wrong doing the right thing.
Exactly.
No matter what. Always stand up for yourself. What do you think about that, Lewis?
I think it's disgusting, bro, how, some men just, and women as well, they'll also take advantage
men
of.
Who have been taken advantage of.
Yep. I think it's disgusting. And, just like Nate said, I think you should stand up. If you feel like something's wrong, say something, do something, anything. And I'm honestly a fucking victim of not doing that shit either. So,
I mean,
not in that scenario.
I always feel, well, let me ask you square. I want to get your input on it. And then I want to ask you guys a question. What do you think about that, G?
People, it's easy to get manipulated if you don't understand that you're being manipulated.
Exactly. Because it took me years for me to realize what exactly had happened until I was like already in my young adulthood.
People kind of, when they want something, they go around and they slither their way into your life and
beat around the bush.
And a person who has genuine intentions is never going to make you feel like you're just gonna recognize it right away. You're not gonna be like, that was a weird move, but you keep telling me it's okay, so I guess like you don't mean anything. Like you don't have to convince yourself that person is genuine. Like you just know it, and
you feel it.
You feel it. And I don't know, man. A lot of people do like to manipulate and
gaslight,
and they start young and then they continue. And then now they're adults who manipulate others, and you just be aware of that, man, because the world's never gonna be rid of them. Yeah. So just stay alert. Understand that. A lot of people have bad intentions and try to gravitate towards the good ones.
Good. I hear this shit all the time, and I'm pretty sure the guests have, our viewers have heard it too, where a lot of women put up with it, not only because of fear, but scared of getting locked out from their dreams. And allow me to explain, especially in the workforce, you know what I'm saying? You might have that supervisor manager who's constantly flirting with you. You don't want this, but you're so determined to get through your goals that you have set up in your life that you intentionally sabotage yourself without realizing the full extent of damage it could cause. Because there is a fear, you know what I'm saying? And we know there's a fear because just like men, there's a lot of men who have this situation happen to them, but they don't speak up because it's like, well, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to look weak. You don't want to feel, no one wants to be a victim. No true, honest person with morals wants to ever be a victim. You know what I'm saying? And there's a fear because a lot of times you don't want to hear a blowback, especially I know for a lot of women, their past ends up coming out the closet, meaning, well, now she has respect. Look how she was acting before. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that can honestly make a lot of women scared. I remember there was a statement made by a retired porn star where, obviously she does adult entertainment and she was talking about chilling with dudes and they had her in the room and literally she has sex with them, but she says she did it out of fear. You get what I'm saying? Because
to protect yourself.
To protect yourself in the sense, now I don't agree with it, but I do understand where that fear could come in, why she kept it going and put up with it. Because the worst thing is you don't want to anger a dude. We already know men are stronger, and it could be very intimidating. And because you want to bring that peace, somewhere in the brain it switches off where they put up with it and they engage in that action, but it tears them up inside, and then they feel hopeless. There's a big embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? Why you think, like they even said it statistically, a lot of people who have been raped or sexually assaulted don't speak up because their image, you know what I'm saying? They know what happened was real, but they don't want the spotlight on them. They just wish it never happened. And that's really the sad part about it. And that's why a lot of these individuals who are evil and gaslighting and doing this type of behavior get away with it. Because think about it. If I go on a platform and contact the police, yeah, this happened to me, that's what I'm going to be known for. You know what I'm saying? And that could honestly destroy your life. Unfortunately, it's like demons, yo. It's better to keep your demons inside than to express them, because if you express them, it could backfire and you could even feel more alienated. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just fucked up. So what's our next topic, our final topic?
Okay, so our final topic. I have here motorcycle topic.
Oh, that's Jason and I explained his motorcycle pass.
Okay. So as you guys know,
maybe not all of them.
Not all of them. I can't say all of them. So I was talking to Lewis on the phone the other day, and honestly, this man ended up pissing me off, and I honestly wanted to engage. Some kid on a bike pulls up to the light, and he puts his kickstand down. He puts his kick on, his feet up, and he's revving the fucking the gas with his foot, acting like a straight up asshole. And as he's making the turn, that nigga looks at me and he's like sizing me up. So I'm like, oh, hells no. I wanted to turn around the car and be like, yo, what's good? You have to understand, I love the culture. Mm-hmm. However, I'm not a fan of the participants of the culture.
Ooh, okay.
It's different. You know what I'm saying? Having a bike, a motorcycle is the most selfish decision you can make for yourself. Because when something goes wrong, not if, when something goes wrong, the toll takes it out on the ones who care most about you. I learned that firsthand. Now, with motorcycle, the culture's changing, man. And it's really, I have to call out these kids. Just like the other day, I was on the causeway, saw a dude on the Gixxer, dude's riding with his legs open and doesn't even know how to switch lanes. His chain is hanging low. And I think why it irritates me and so many others is because we get a bad rep because of that. You know what I'm saying? You always have individuals who are part of that and they do stupid shit and they think it's all of us. And it's so unfortunate. Like even right now, I'm part of a trauma group. Shout out to Titanium 1000. This is a support group for those who have been down, who have had multiple surgeries like me. I don't have a femur, plates holding the arm. We try to speak life, but it's like this new generation doesn't care to listen. Mm-hmm. They don't even have a helmet
They're
anymore.
Stupid.
Yeah, and it's just because you're on the bike doesn't mean you can't kill the person in the car. So, Mike, I want to ask you guys a question. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel when you see these bikers doing outlandish shit? And, where does it take you? Do you hate it? Do you feel that they should be taken out? Do you feel like they deserve what happened coming from them?
Oh my
and
God.
Taken out meaning, do you think that they should be taught a lesson?
Damn.
What do you think? Because you're into the music world and you see that shit all the time with the music videos to be recording, niggas doing donuts and shit. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I don't hate it. I like the chaos. I like the recklessness. I like the craziness. I do think that, when you do decide to, do tricks on your bike and, hop on a highway doing 60 and, you 60.
That's speed limit, homie.
Hey, man, come on, but on a little on a four-wheeler, you know what I'm saying? That's dangerous at that point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you choose to do those things, you gotta understand, right? If you die, you die. Like you're not coming back. So
that's reality.
Well, the saying is, if you die, you're lucky. It's surviving that you gotta be worried about.
Yeah,
because if you survive, you're getting fucked up. Like when I'm on twos, I don't care about dying. I'm okay with that. My worry is because I know how I ride. Do I want to survive? Is the question. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what you do, you're gonna get fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And being that you see these artists all the time doing crazy shit. What's some of the wild experiences that you've seen when it comes to during the Martin Luther King, bikes up, guns down? I know you've seen that, you participated. What comes to mind when you see shit like that?
Look, I'm not even the type to be like, I wish everything was more careful and stuff. I like the ride outs. I love when the whole community comes out and they take over the highways and the roads.
It's pretty dope.
And they come together. I mean, that is cool as hell. I mean, that's like our culture down here. But on top of that, you could get 400 strangers that don't know each other and they all have.
I'm like a little kid on
cool.
Christmas when your parents are driving by these houses
Look
with
at the
lights. I'm
motorcycles. Like you love it. You lower your windows, blast your music, give them a little, and a little boost of energy. Because you know what I mean. It's they ain't hurting nobody. Have some fun. Look, life is already serious as shit. Have some fun. Once in a while, you guys go on a ride. Who cares? Just, what I'm saying. Be careful. Then they like be mindful that you're not the only person on the road. And just have some fun.
You're also on the car scene, man. I seen, you see these Dodge Chargers and shit. I
think they're stupid.
Well, all day.
I didn't see
so apparently
Mustang
Dade County
drivers.
and like in Georgia, they gave state troopers Teslas now because that's the only way they could catch these fucking Chargers and these Challengers. What do you think about that? Like,
I thought they were rocking Mach E's.
The police department, it's not fast enough. You're talking about these new Hellcats that just came out, bro. They're fucking 800 horses, bro, and up. They're dipping. Fast. They have to put the Tesla. Now, apparently, there's a cease and desist when it comes to police chasing because they're endangering lives. Being that you're in the music culture, you interact with these individuals. Do you think they're all there up in the head? No. Why?
A lot of rappers are insane.
Damn.
Explain.
The shit that I've seen,
share with us, bro.
I didn't shot videos where the artists are hanging out the window with AKs, in residential neighborhoods.
Bro,
the police have been called and all,
Mind you guys, Adrian's a photographer,
videographer,
like he deals with this. So
yeah, it's a lot of craziness, and I don't think a sane person would, but I don't think to be an artist in today's world and to have that recognition and even have people want to give a shit about you.
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up?
What's cracking?
If to even be like to blow up in this world, you have to be a little bit crazy. Like you have to be like you do.
Do you feel okay? So you say you have to be crazy, right? Define crazy because there's being crazy and there's being desperate for attention.
So yeah,
what would be the difference for you?
So crazy would be you're willing to give up, your day to go run around and do something. Like for me, I would be like give up my whole day and just go be on set for free for 10 hours. And then when I'm done, go back and edit the video for free. So I can have something to come, that's insane. Cause I gave up sleep. I forgot to eat, whatever. Attention would be like the Island Boys. Like every week they're like,
my God.
Now speaking of that,
yeah,
I don't like those.
I want to go on a tangent real quick. What what do you guys think about the Island Boys?
I don't like them at all.
I don't like them at all. Personally, I feel like they need to get
They're
smacked
jokes.
behind the head.
I don't really watch them, to be very honest.
Yeah, all the information about them has been forced upon me. I don't go looking for it. Just
the latest, just to tell you the latest, I want to get your insight on these guys. The latest shit they did, apparently they took a dildo and started making out with each other and licking on the dildo. That's their latest crazy shit. Being that you're
they're cloud chasers. They're cloud chasers.
But being that you're in entertainment, how does that make you feel? Like,
that's weird.
Personally, I don't care. But I think it's fucking weird as shit. Like, I mean, and also like, how did it go from like them just being Island Boys to like now they just kiss on each other on the internet? Yeah. Like, I don't think attention and money is worth like that. I think it's just that's the route you have to go. It's not for you.
Death Collect says, LOL, are they going to do more on OnlyFans? Do they have OnlyFans?
No, they don't. They have OnlyFans?
I am not surprised.
No way. No, let me tell you something,
bro.
Bro, what the fuck is going on?
What is going on, bro?
What is seriously going on, bro? We have lost our way. And I say we because we're a culture.
It's all society. Yeah, it's bad.
People that want to do weird shit and people that want to see the weird shit.
It's a lot. It's craziness out here.
Like, that's not my culture, bro. I'm sorry.
So, being that you're our guest, right?
That's fucking weird.
I want to give you the floor right now. Tell us some of the craziest things you experienced, like shit that made you tick. And we know you're crazy yourself, but like, what shit that's happened that kept you up at night and made you feel like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, share some stories with us, dog. And don't hold back either. You can say names.
No. But I guess I'll start with this one then if I think of more. I've been recording with an artist We were driving around the city getting some car scenes, and he thought he saw like his op across the street, like driving. And when the cars like got close to each other, bro like pulls out the gun straight out the window.
You're with him in his car.
Yeah, like I'm in the passenger seat, he's driving.
And this motherfucker.
Is this for work or is this like personal?
No, he hired me for this.
Oh my God. So this man about to have you fill in the first 38. Dog, what the hell was going through you? I was like, yo, get me out the car.
I was just like, all right. Because I just don't care. I don't know. I'm very like, I like the chaos. Like I said,
you're down to ride for a 187?
No, like I don't want to go to jail. I will snitch. I will snitch on you if you commit a crime around me. I just want you to know that.
He's like, I am not a gangbanger.
You are just a client. We are not friends. If you commit a crime around, I will snitch. I'll snitch.
Hey man, listen. Being that you said you would snitch, I think, and I know I might get slack for this. I think Styles P said it best. If you're not about that life, it's not snitching.
Yeah.
If you're not indulging in that lifestyle, if you're not playing those politics, and you're a civilian,
it's surviving.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Like I know the term, like, oh, you know, like snitches get stitches, like you don't snitch. Okay.
No, snitches get buried.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It escalated. I feel like if you are in a group and you're somewhat bonded and there's like loyalty, like I understand that there's no snitching, different. But I just want to know if the same like rule applies to people who are business partners, or they're just in it like, hey, this is just strictly business. You are a client. If you do something illegal around me, I will not be held responsible for your crimes. I will like testify against you, snitch or whatever. Because I hope that there are some values, like don't
I pray I'm never put in that position.
Don't
like,
hold up someone in the light.
Position.
Yeah, like don't hold up someone up in the light of, whoa, like snitches, you know, like get buried. Well, I don't even know you. Like we are not bonded. Why should I roll for you?
Absolutely.
Because I can't, as a man, I can't call it snitching because you're not from that culture. You don't.
You're not part of it.
And I think that's what really bugs me out about the community, especially in the Black community.
Does everyone feel that way?
Because it's like, yo, if you see a boy get murdered, I'm telling you right now, speak up. The ones who don't get to speak up are those who indulge into that lifestyle.
Okay.
Because you signed up for it. Mm-hmm. So you have to heed to the politics that you chose to play with. You know what I'm saying? You guys are regular civilians. You can't get mad at a civilian wanting to make his neighborhood safe. You can't get mad at a civilian for doing the right thing, even though in your mind it's wrong. It's only wrong to you because you played that role. You choose that lifestyle. It would be retarded for me to be upset if I'm out here on the streets and I'm flagged up doing crazy shit. You call the cops on me, I'm not looking at you with heat. You're a regular civilian. You know what I'm saying? Now, the people I'm beefing with, if I'm beefing with a nigga who's threatening me, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm going to take you out, whoopty-swampty-doo. And you call the cops, I'm looking at you sideways. Then I'm looking like, yeah, you's a snitch. Yeah, you's a bitch because you're in that culture. You're not real about it. But for the regular civilians, yo, do the right thing, bro. Because there's a lot of families that are affected by this poor, stupid mindset thinking that they're snitching when it's not snitching if you come from a regular suburban or average civilian lifestyle. It is only snitching when you come from that element, when you part of that culture, when you're from the gangbanging, when you're from the trapping, when you are hustling. Then you can't parlay with the police. Then you're wrong because it's an invisible oath. You know what I'm saying? You made your bed, you laid in. You scared, go to church. You don't get to call the cops on the ops because you're scared. This ain't Charleston White over here, dude. That's just my opinion. So when you were in the car with him, he pulled out the hammer. And what did he tell you?
Don't even. You know what? It was a good night for. But the one that really was interesting is I left Booby Trap. I left the KOD.
King of Diamonds.
Yeah.
Oof, there's always some shit going on.
It was an interesting night. So it was we were recording with these I was filming these artists from New York, and a fight broke out like while they were performing. And I have like the fight's on my Instagram, which is like really fun. Like this girl was like,
let them know your Instagram so they can see.
Oh yeah,
shit.
so it's Adrian. It's a WOAHAYDRIAN. So yeah, this girl, you see this girl swinging blood in her mouth, doesn't even drop it, just boom, 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 right? So I already knew how the night was like gonna go because it was just like, that happens. And so, we wrap up, we leave, we go outside, and like within like a minute of leaving KOD, gunfire like starts erupting.
Bro.
Did you duck roll?
I wasn't, so I'm in the back of a lamb truck.
Mm-hmm.
and Buddy driving is just popping off.
You didn't play dead?
I don't care.
Yo, straight up, yo. If I don't shoot
Playing
up,
dead will get you killed.
I was in the back scrolling Instagram because what am I gonna do? So I was like, you handle your business, bro. And I'm just like down here.
What the fuck?
And he's driving, just going, bah, 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 bah. What made me laugh is he turned around and he goes, bro, you good? You're with me. Don't worry about it. And I was like, all right,
Rambo, get
right,
me
go
out
for
of
it.
here,
The
dog.
I was like,
reassurance,
handle your
bro.
business, bro. But it was crazy though, because like for a while, it was just like, all right, whatever happened, we're driving, but we're driving crazy. I mean, I'm car sick by the time we're driving all over the place. And at one point we get to like this street and his boy's with him in a McLaren.
Hold on. Let me
We're fancy. It was fancy. We're riding fancy.
So let me get this straight. These dudes is financially set up and they're still indulging in
It's
this
stupid. It like get rich and get out, bro.
Wow,
Go live your life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Like I've been like around a lot, and I don't care. Like I don't think twice about it. It is what it is. But
You got a bulletproof vest?
no, I am bulletproof. Because I like in the sense
Okay,
that I'm not
okay,
around
Sia.
danger. Like I try to avoid danger.
You're not
all the
around
time.
it. Boy, you were just you're in shotgun like, yeah, man, this
It
man pulled out the hammer one.
It happened.
Dakata.
There's moments that it happens, but generally I try to just not be in that. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, artists, what you do does affect your director. Because I know I have director friends who've had the police pull up on their house and take their gear, like take their memory card and request it with a warrant because you just shot a video with somebody who had a gun that was, what I'm saying? Like I've
That was on
I've-
house
Do they get their
arrest
shit
or
back?
probation.
After?
Probably
Good
not.
luck with that.
Because if you're on probation, you get caught with a
They're-
firearm,
they-
you're doing
and
your
if-
sentence.
and if
No,
you're-
I meant your
if that
director
trial, if
friends.
they take them forever to even go to trial to do that charge, you're not getting that back for like a year or two or a
Damn.
month. Like,
Oh,
at that
yeah,
point, you're not
'cause
gonna
it's
get
evidence.
and they're just gonna hold on to
Did it
it.
reimburse
forever.
you?
No, because
Nah.
they subpoena it.
What the
So everything
Yeah.
that's on his camera is documented, bro.
These are valid
Damn,
She's
bro.
like, what's the
questions.
return policy?
So
It's bad. You
one
gotta
more
be
que-
careful.
I'm really curious because I find that your job is interesting, man. Tell us the story. Tell us the story when you were working with Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah, I lied about that.
No, but tell him how
I
you
fucking
got.
knew he was
Bro,
capping.
No, you got to hear how you got Buddy. Tell him how you got Buddy,
All
dog.
right, so
This shit's crazy.
we were outside. We were on South Beach. I was with Miles, and our friend Evan hit us up.
Shout out to Boa Studios,
Yo, Boa
yo.
Studios is the truth. If you're not like filming here, you're a loser. Like I mean, you're probably getting scammed. It's the best place to be at.
Amen.
So I'm on South Beach with him. Our friend Evan hit us up. He was in from California with Enemy
Mhm.
Chopper. They were gonna shoot out here with Sexy Red. So Miles and I show up and we're ready. They're getting ready in their cars, and we're just kind of standing there. We see some of our friends, and we're just chopping it up. And this random white dude just comes up, and he's just like, "Hey, what are you guys waiting around for?" And we're just like, "I don't know,
Bro, classic white man.
For real, you know,
Why?
just walks in the
Hey,
mix,
what are you
yo.
guys doing?
Like, what does it matter?"
What are you doing with my tax dollars?
I was just like, I don't know. We're just waiting to record. And he was like, who are recording? And I was like, I don't know, but it looks important because there's 2 trucks there in security. So we'll just see. And he goes, so what do you guys like work for? And like, oh, we post like in the tabloids, like paparazzi and stuff. And so he's like kind of just like going off of it right now. So I know he's invested because he goes, are you guys with the Mayo company? And I was like, the Mayo company? He's like, yeah, they're shooting a mayonnaise commercial on the other side of this building. And I was like, oh no, I didn't know. We're for ourselves. And he goes, so how do you guys are like, he wanted to know about us. And I said, oh, we just finished filming in Texas last week. We just got back. We're actually we shot some pictures of Brad Pitt, and we sold them. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. It was quick, we just caught him before he got to the car.
Jesus Christ.
And he looked at me, he was like, are you fucking with me? And I was like, for what? I have no reason to. And he goes, that's so cool. You met Brad Pitt. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, you gullible son of a bitch, bro.
Wow.
Like Miles had to walk away because he was laughing. It's just, and I was really invested into it. And then he asked like how we get our gigs.
Mhm.
And I told him that we have like a Reddit page that like some of us have, or we're together in a group and we kind of like reach out to each other and stuff. And he goes, well, can I be a part of that? I was like, I'd have to kill you if I gave you, because that's where I get my money. And he was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I wish you a lot of luck. And then he walked away and I was like,
He ate everything up.
he was like, I just met somebody.
That was
who
such
met
a
Brad
weird
Pitt.
interaction.
South Beach is full of weirdos.
Anybody wants their 15 minutes of fame, dog?
Like
This man said Brad Pitt. Is
Hey,
like,
what are
oh,
you guys
word.
doing?
and that's and that kind of like made me think, like realize that if you pretend to be important, people think that you are
Rick
and,
Ross.
you know, and you could fake that until you actually make it. It's ridiculous. So, you know, I enjoy lying for fun sometimes.
What about
Confidence is
okay?
key.
What about the shorties, dog? You know, I had that final question before we close out, dog. I know that you come across a lot of shorties, dog. A lot of shorties, ones that you want to get pregnant on purpose type shit. I mean, the non.
you got
The
Riz?
ones that I'll let get me pregnant, boy.
I don't. In this day and age, in 2023, it might happen.
Yo, you got Riz?
Yeah, you know how to
Actually,
rizzle.
I think I do.
He's the
What's some of your
Rizzler.
best pickup lines,
I
dog?
don't look. It's not even about having a pickup line. It's about each woman is individual.
Mm.
You know, because if you try to use the same pickup line, you're lame. You don't actually got game because you can't come up with new things on the spot.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm old school, girl. You know what I'm saying? But like, girl, you like Campbell's soup. Good. Oh, matter of fact, girl, you like a butterfly. Beautiful watch, hard to catch.
That is
yo.
so
I've heard that
The
one
last
before.
time you had
buddy.
sex was
It
like
works.
1995, dog. There's no way
I've
that
heard that one before,
Hey,
bro.
bro. Hey, listen, I've been out the game for 8 years. You gotta bear with
Oh
me,
my
you know what
God.
I'm
He says he
saying?
got a Riz, then he says that.
Like, yo.
Listen,
What's the more of the
listen,
opposite?
my thing is when you're corny, you know what I'm saying? They laugh, their eyes closed. They don't realize how ugly you are. It works. That's why you
That
gotta
is
be
a
funny.
fact. If you do make them laugh, though, I mean, that's like number one. But it is all about, you know, just I think having a sense of humor is the best riz.
Yeah.
If you
Word.
could come up with a joke, I'm like, not come up with a joke like, haha, I'm trying to be funny, but
It should
like,
be
if
funny.
you can make a situation funny, something you both see. Like, for instance, I shot with this model like yesterday, 2 days ago, or whenever the last time before I slept was, and as we're walking on the beach, there was a bunch of seagulls, but one was like looked retarded, like his head was spiky. He was kind of like
He looked like he had COVID.
He was lower than the rest. He was walking, and I looked at him. I was like, you know who that is? That's their neighborhood crackhead. He's walking around telling stories, and he's telling people like, yo, that hurricane, I beat that. I flew through it. Like,
Oh
and
my
like
God.
you can make something funny out of, like, it's just kind of like,
Well, they like to laugh. Let me ask you something. Have you ever pulled any shorties while working?
no, I respect my job boundaries, and I don't try ever.
Look me in the face without laughing. No smirking.
No, I respect my job boundaries, and I will never flirt with a model that I work with because once you cross that boundary,
Conflict of interest.
fucks up.
So
I appreciate
tell
the
me
professionalism.
the one that you okay. So for you to say that means you have hooked
He's
up
holding
with
it
one.
together, bro. He's trying to
Who
hold it
messed it up
together.
for the others, Doug? Who messed it up for the others?
No.
What's the craziest story that you ever had interaction with a female client, bro?
I mean, I generally try not to. Like, I really, really.
What's
don't.
the
He
craziest shit you
tries,
seen?
though.
Have you ever like had like a shorty doing like a photo shoot and her boyfriend come all jealous and shit?
Yo, I've seen one that's really weird to be at a photo shoot where the girl is, you know, and it's like lingerie and stuff, and
Mhm.
the guy and the boyfriend's there. Because I've literally seen the guy stare at the photographer like he's gonna rip his head off for the duration of the shoot, and just like the photographer will like suggest poses, and he'll be like, "Nah, bro, not that," and you're over here like,
Bro,
what am I witnessing right now? Like,
Bro.
how is he not swung at him yet?
that's
do
like
you,
some
do
cock
you
hole
make
shit.
your clients sign like waivers or
For what?
like in
Like
when you're
protection
shooting?
wise. The heat is on.
What's a waiver?
Oh shit.
How do you spell contract? Where do you even find a contract for? How do you print that out? Do you have to go to office?
Val is so disappointed right now. She's so disappointed.
She giving you a double bit like
Val, our ones and O's is so disappointed at Adrian right now.
I'm about to
Oh
walk
my
out
God.
to a stack of papers like, this is what a contract is. This is how you present it.
Because like if you present the contract to the model, you'd be like, hey, like your boyfriend cannot tell me what to do because like I keep a boundary of professionalism. I will not cross that boundary, but I can't have someone who doesn't have no experience in this industry telling me what to do.
Yeah, I've luckily not, like, nobody's ever bothered me, but I just think that I'm like more blessed than every other human being in the world, and God loves me.
Okay.
shit.
Because I don't know, the problems people have, I'm just like, oh, really?
I remember
Wow.
I remember at
Oh, that's
work,
wild.
like
That
one of the
couldn't be
things,
me. Wow, couldn't be
'cause-
me.
No, some shorties are. I mean, I have done installs, and I was at 124, and this chick, yo, she was bad, bro, real beautiful, and me, on top of person, I'll hook up the ugly chick and charge the hot chick full price. Like even with my ex, I met her at my job, I charged her full price. Like I know I sound like an asshole. I'm like, nah, you gonna learn today.
Mhm.
Have you ever had
You
a
like
female
to
client?
humble them.
Yeah.
Dude, LOL.
Have you ever had a female client literally try to throw herself at you for a discount?
I would take it.
Oh my God.
Hey, yo, you know what? Hey, you
like-
100 with it, bro.
Money comes and goes. Coochie is forever.
Oh my God. Oh
I'm
God.
gonna take it. I mean, depending how good my bank account looked, I could go either way, but why not?
All right.
Because the repeat customers, they'll come back for more shits. That's cool.
True that, man.
Okay,
But
okay.
Don't,
Are you
don't-
sure it's just for one?
don't shit
for
where you
shoots?
eat.
I hope she wants more than shits, but
Don't shit where you eat. So, final thoughts. One last question before we close out. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I want your true, honest opinion.
Okay.
Right?
Shoot.
We're- What?
I said shoot.
Who? Me?
I said shoot like the question. Like ask the question.
Oh, okay. So
Bruh.
you know, I'm just saying.
Good.
Who? You name it.
We're all adults here, right?
Uh-huh.
So my question to you is, with all the experiences you had right now, go back a year. For this year alone, since this year is about to come to an end, what would you tell yourself at this point, going back to the beginning of the year in January? What would you tell yourself in January that leads up to now? Like, what warning would you give yourself if you can go back to the month of January as
I got
for
it.
the way this
I
year's
know
going?
exactly what I'm talking.
We'll start with you.
Mhm.
I don't know if I
Um,
want to answer this.
No, I know.
Don't take that summer class.
Don't take this.
You're gonna fail,
Hey, I
so
respect
don't even try.
Don't take the summer class. What about you, G? Damn. Ooh, y'all been
Heavy
living.
sigh.
Y'all been
I
living
don't want
life.
to answer this truthfully, so I'm gonna just say.
Answer
Just
it
gonna-
Nah, bro,
like
you
a
can't say
man.
that and not
Like a
answer
grown
truthfully.
man,
No,
bro,
say
'cause
truthfully.
stand
Nah,
on
wear
it.
your chest
What,
out.
what
Wear
would
your
you
chest out.
tell
Wear your
yourself
chest out.
in January that led up to this point? If you can go back to January with everything you've been through now, what would you warn yourself about going back to January?
I'll just tell myself that the past is the past. Leave it there, and have more respect for yourself.
He tried to be friends with his ex.
Nah.
That's-
oh shit.
That wasn't it.
That's what it was.
That wasn't it.
That's
No?
pretty bad though.
No,
That's
No?
fine though.
Can you shed a little light?
A little bit, just a
Just a
little.
little bit.
Come on, man.
that's all it is.
He's like
family.
Jason. He's
That's
like,
all
I
it
don't
is.
want to name
What's
any names.
what makes you feel that way though?
I need the juice.
Like what makes you feel like the past is the past?
El jugo.
Like
Yeah.
who? What experience?
I'm not
Because
an
it's
owl.
tied to an experience,
Who?
100%, bro.
Ooh.
Oh, I went back to someone. That's what it is.
Okay.
Ah,
All right.
what it was.
ain't
He
nothing
said,
wrong with
nah.
that.
I know. It's cool.
No regrets.
That-
Lessons
yeah,
learned.
I mean, I don't
No
got no
regrets.
regrets. It's just like I feel like if I knew what was coming, I would have just left it as
Hey,
that.
Okay.
that's so I'm
What about-
exactly the same. Oh
What
my
about
God.
you?
Do not try to be friends with your ex. Just leave it alone. Do
shit.
not. Just
That's what you would tell yourself.
Oh my
bad.
God.
Yo,
Don't
it
try-
lingered for a while. When we were like, nah, we're gonna get back together. No, it was hell. Don't even try it.
or go back and tell yourself, nah, do it. It's a canon event.
Honestly, it was kind of fun. Though. It was a fun roller coaster. It did make for some like interesting evenings.
Mm.
I do
Although
like the
mine wasn't really a
risks.
canon event, so I definitely could have done without failing that class.
Okay.
But on a serious note, I really would tell myself to think more positively because sometimes I get into like so many bad things happen around me that I just start thinking negatively just because like I'm not even consciously doing it. So yeah, man, just try to be more positive and think that like life is happening for me and not to me. That would have been
Okay,
helpful.
period.
That would've been a
Amen.
lot more helpful.
If I could go back to January and tell myself one thing, I would just be like, look, dog, there's going to be some storms, but you have to keep in mind the sun's going to come out again.
Mhm.
And that's what I would tell myself.
I like that.
Period.
So
I like
as
that.
we end that note, yo, tell them where they can find you at.
So, guys, you can find me on my Instagram. It's Natalie, 2 I's and 2 E's _01.
Montage.
You can find me here on the 1424 podcast, baby. You already know what it is.
Yeah,
Again, if
Lewis
he
doesn't have
doesn't-
Instagram.
I don't got no
if he don't
socials.
answer, that's on him, y'all.
Mhm.
Okay, that's on him.
I don't got no socials.
Yeah.
You can't find me
That
nowhere but
means you're
here.
can't.
responsible for that now. What
But
about
if-
you,
yeah.
G? Where can they find
You
you?
can find me on Backpage.
I know you lying. I know you fucking lying.
On Instagram at Will Adrian, on Twitter. Well, actually, just go on my Twitter. Don't even worry about Instagram. Twitter.com/Will Adrian.
Okay. And you can find your boy on Tinder.
Bro.
And, Hinge.
Jesus
If
Christ.
you're looking for a
And
good
Grinder.
night, ain't no grinder here, but if you want some grinding, you got it. Just look at me, ladies. I'll treat you right. I'll do you right. Yeah. Silk.
Silk.
Mhm. Nah, I'm bullshit. I deleted that shit, by the way. I can't do it.
You did?
I deleted it. Listen, I go off on
Grindr
energy. No, that stays.
Grindr?
No, but I had to delete it because I go off energy, bro. I can't.
Exposed.
Like, I need to conversate with you in person and need to feel the vibe. Like I need to feel your energy, and dating site doesn't do it. But you can find Logic142 on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Make sure if this is your first time, you hit that like and subscribe button, yo. We hope you guys have a splendid weekend, yo. Live for the moment. And again, y'all want that good food, yo. Flavor Fresh, hit them up.
Yeah.
Meal prep.
Flavor.
You know what I'm saying? Catering. And again, he changes it all around and he accommodates you. If you hit him up, he can make you a set menu. So again, I'm gonna give you the information.
Yeah.
It's
So
our Flavor Fresh menu on Instagram, right? And then also that number again, if I could pull it up because I'm
Flavor
retarded.
Fresh meals on Instagram.
Yeah, it's a meal prep weekly plan. So it's $55 for 5 meals and $95 for 10 meals. You can definitely DM, text, or call for inquiries. It's low in sodium. They don't fry anything, and it's flavorful food.
Absolutely,
Healthy.
we could
And
definitely
what's the
back that
number
up.
they could call?
It's right here. It's 305-504.
2927.
Yeah, you go.
Period.
And as you know, this is one thing for sure, two things for certain,
baby.
Holla.
Let's get it.
Woo!
See you guys later.
I forgot that now I have to end the stream now.
Yes, you did.